1-877-794-1973.
Wait a minute, these guys are cool, but not that cool.
No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Now, Billy and Armen on the game.
Highly caffeinated and motivated to join you for the next 4 hours. It's No BS on the Game. I'm Billy Schmidt. That's Armen Sarian by my side, and it is our wishful giving event presented by Kessler's Diamonds Day 2, benefiting Make-A-Wish, Wisconsin. We will continue to bring you incredible stories throughout the day of perseverance, resilience, and straight-up love between families, parents, brothers, sisters, loved ones, taking care and helping nurse the young people in our world back to health and be able to do it with a smile on their face. Make-A-Wish Wisconsin is one of the greatest organizations in the world, and we are incredibly honored to be able to help them out in any way, shape, or form. And today, Armen Sarian welcoming in some folks inside of our beautiful palatial studios.
Yes.
Be able to tell some short stories, share some stories. We got some awesome ones coming in here. My friend Sarah is an absolute electric factory who's going to join us a little bit later on in the program. Obviously, we're going to have our Packers and Broncos breakdown because we have a massive game coming in the Mile Get High City. And it features one thing that I know Armen Sarian potentially loves, which is white socks for the Green Bay Packers. Also white helmets as they will bust out the all-white whiteout uniforms coming up on Sunday afternoon in the Mile Get High City. The excitement is palpable for this game coming up on Sunday, Armen, especially after we watch what we saw last night where, man, every single time you start to think you got a beat on the National Football League, I'm starting to think the NFL is kind of like weather in Wisconsin. I've always been told if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Wait 5 minutes. That's right. You just wait, Billy.
You don't like what's happening in the NFL? Odds are you wait 3 weeks and something drastic will change. And you think you start really knowing who's going to be beating who on a given week.
Yeah.
You think that you're walking up to the potentially Potawatomi Sportsbook with an absolute read on how this thing is going. I'm seeing this board, and I'm seeing it well. And then all of a sudden, for the final 13 minutes, like last night, you see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers send it down their shorts with a 14-point lead against a team that's already eliminated with a potential head coach and GM circling the drain.
Wow.
To come back in the final 12, 13 minutes from last night's game for the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday Night Football, I predicted an absolute snoozer. Well, it did put me to bed in the wrong variety because I fell asleep on the couch. But, Armen, that thing was as energizing and exciting as you could possibly have. And don't look now, Packers fans, but your worst loss in the NFC on the season doesn't look all that bad anymore because right now, if the playoffs began today, the Carolina Panthers would be in as the fourth seed
and the
NFC
game.
South champions.
You'd be traveling to their house. You know, I mean, this is, the NFL, Billy, and we say it over and over again, but it's true. We can't emphasize it enough, is that you never know what you're going to get from game to game. You never know what you're going to get in game. I mean, I was pouring through the win probability graph this morning, for the game last night that the Buccaneers had at many points in the game. They went up early. It was a 1-point game at half. They dominate the third quarter and they go up 2 touchdowns to start the fourth. Baker's looking good in those creamsicle uniforms, which, by the way, talking about uniforms, I like the old, as look. You know, the creamsicles. I love that.
Sweet look.
I believe, and I will stand on this. I will prophesize. I will evangelize that every team in the NFL should wear the exact uniforms they had in 1994. I believe that. I'm going to stand on business. Although I'm going to say this, I think the Pantone's a little different on that orange than it was.
It's a little different than it
used
to be.
It's a little creamier, a little lighter, a little less orange.
Yep.
Something they mixed a little butter in it. It's okay, but it's really a nice look. Going up in the fourth quarter and early on, they get the lead, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, the Buccaneers took care of business at home, but you never know what you're going to get in game, from game to game and in game in the NFL. Fortunes can change so quickly. The comebacks that always fascinate me in this league Billy, are the ones that where seemingly you have to have like 10 or 12 of the exact like occurrence, result, variable. Like the obvious example for us is unfortunately the 2014 NFC Championship game, where it felt like you had to have like 12 different moments, individual plays go against you to lose that game. And that's probably what the situation was last night for the Buccaneers. And those things happened. The funny thing is, the Falcons didn't even do everything they could have. I mean, they didn't convert in their 2-point conversions when they scored, but they came back and they were converting. There was like 3rd and 20, whatever, and 4th and 12s, or whatever they were, converting them. Kirk O'Chains reached back, Billy, for a vintage performance that only Kirk Cousins could, Bijan Robinson, and Kyle Pitts. We were joking about it yesterday. Finally, the Kyle Pitts you were waiting for.
Incredible.
He finally showed up, 3 tutties, which I believe quadrupled his season total because he walked in with 1.
Walked in with 1.
Yeah, which is an amazing game last night.
The stat line for Kyle Pitts last night of 3 tugs and 150 receiving yards, the best from a tight end in the first of that nature at that position since maybe not your glory days that you mentioned of 1994.
Yeah.
How about Super Bowl winning year of Super Bowl 31, 1996?
That's my favorite year.
Best stats in 30 years for a tight end. And all it took was somebody's playoffs in fantasy football.
That's all it took.
And some poor soul is sitting here this morning, waking up saying, really glad I started Dalton Schultz over Kyle Pitts on my fantasy team this week in the playoffs.
Funny you say that, Billy, because Kyle Pitts' ass is on my bench right now. Now, you're talking about a guy like Armen, like, boy, I got a big move getting a backup tight end like Kyle Pitts.
Oh, no.
And you know what? He's doing a great job as my backup right now. But you know
Might
what?
win bench warmer of the week for you at that point.
Listen, you know what? That's just the way it goes sometimes. And it is truly amazing what he played well last night. And this is the talent that made him so tantalizing coming out of the draft. I mean, he was can't miss, as you know, Billy.
Well, he was so
just
good.
Underperformed for so long, and now, I mean, last night he had that. It's like the golf shot that keeps you coming back, right?
Always will keep you coming back. And you know what else that is? The Atlanta Falcons. Because as I finally quit the Atlanta Falcons, like the worst of the Marlboro Lights that are just going to sit there and continue to emanate and waft into your nasals and just think, man, just one more might be a good idea. Maybe one more time. Maybe one more time I trust the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe one more time I think that Bijan Robinson, who is leading the NFL in all-purpose yards, maybe he can lead this team to not only a win, but just cover the 5.5 or win the NFC South like I had predicted earlier on this year. And they're a fascinating case because yesterday how this ties into the Green Bay Packers. And as I'm watching last night's result, I couldn't help but cheer even harder for Tampa Bay. And just let me walk you down this line for a second here.
Well, take me by my
As
hand.
yesterday, many on Packers internet spheres were losing their collective minds and frustrated and already packing boxes and sending edible arrangements of goodwill and good fortune to one Jeff Hafley and saying, thank you very much. He is right now the betting favorite to be the next coach for the New York Football Giants. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jeff.
It switched from Marcus Freeman to him. Is that what?
The betting favorite to be the head coach of the New York Football Giants. Now, whether or not he ends up getting the job at the end of the year, I think he's a phenomenal candidate. And he will get interviews, probably gets a job. And not only because of what his own acumen is, but because this goes on flavor of the month. This goes on what is working in the NFL.
Sure.
Who right now is everyone's favorite young coach who has just taken over a program? Let me answer that for you.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald in Seattle.
Sure. Okay. I could see that.
So as quickly as we go from need to have boy wonder guy that had coffee with Sean McVay one time.
All right.
Because he knows offense. There's absolutely Liam Cohen still getting jobs. There will always be, holy cow, you have Baker Mayfield throw 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards. Job, Dave Canales, Liam Cohen.
Right.
But you want to go with what's trendy and what worked. I think there was for almost a decade, Armen, a full resistance on defensive coaches for how the league was trending, how it was operating.
Yeah, it was all it was the offensive, illusion geniuses.
You got to have somebody that's going to develop a young quarterback, and you can't let that guy leave when he then gets a head coaching job. Well, Or you can be like Mike McDonald and say, my offense is the problem. Hey, Ryan Graham, didn't really work. You can go to Alabama. I'll bring in somebody else. I'll keep churning through offensive coordinators. At some point, it's an offensive league. There's enough guys that are going to make this work that will be okay. We'll figure it out as long as we can get the right guy, and I can identify that. So I think Hafley's going to get a job, not only because of how desirable a candidate he would be, but right now it's advantageous to be a defensive coach. Unlike it was a number of years ago. Jesse Minter's probably going to get a job, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes that are going to be in that young, up-and-coming DC role that people are starting to get interested in. But as I'm watching last night, and many in Packers fandom already packing bags for Jeff Hafley to go to the Giants and figuring out, how on earth are we going to figure this defense out? Well, if he leaves, this is the best defense the Packers have had in decades.
What are we going to do?
The last thing I want is all of a sudden only have 1 year with Micah Parsons in this elite defense. Well, Raheem Morris, or as Matt LaFleur has called him in a couple of interviews, Raheem Morris, great longtime friend, defensive coordinator of the LA Rams when they win the Super Bowl.
I like this. I like where you're going here.
I was pretty confident as they walk and show Arthur Blank pacing up and down the sidelines during pregame, interrupting the Amazon Prime show to go and say hi to Tony Gonzalez. He's like, hey, man, I'm probably not going to be here by the time you leave. I'm going to get up out of here because this doesn't feel like it's going to be a very nice night for us. We've already been eliminated from playoff contention. We're in these throwback uniforms.
Yeah.
Probably going to get dump trucked by these guys in creamsicle jerseys. And the last thing I want to do is watch the fourth quarter.
Yeah, because we're down big. This
isn't going to be fun. I want to say my goodbyes, say my pleasantries, and be able to get up on my jet before the final horn.
Got to.
And then all of a sudden his team goes, messes around, and wins the football game. And Armen, I'm trying to think, like, you start stacking up the available guys that will be there. I had already coped with potential of losing a Jeff Hafley in the offseason because I'm like, sweet, Raheem Morris is already your DC in waiting. You got him sitting right here. Great relationship. Last time he was a DC, wins a Super Bowl. It's pretty easy.
I say
it's pretty simple.
Not
right
only did
here.
you cope with it, you already filled the seat and you already got the poll.
And I had already given him a decent extension.
Yeah.
Like I had already given him a top contract amongst defensive coordinators in football. And then, they win the game last night when everything is eliminated and it's a divisional game. And, I don't know if you're Arthur Blank, if you can necessarily fire that dude because you already don't have a first round pick next year. So you bring in a new GM, they're behind the 8 ball without their first round pick. You almost have to feel like you're sending them right back out there. And I went through 3 hours last night, Armen, fully believing Raheem Morris was going to be the Packers defensive coordinator in 2026. Man. And now I don't know how that happens.
I love where you went here, Billy. I love the ride you took us on. I love the way you went to not only Hafley being gone and Raheem Morris being our DC to, boy, maybe we're either looking for a guy or maybe Hafley stays. Are you saying, but now we have a vacancy.
Now we maybe give Jeff Hafley the biggest defensive coordinator contract of all time.
I think he's got to get that deal either way. But I get your point. Yeah, I think he's got to get that deal either way because I think you're right. I think he'll have offers. But I will say this, as much as last night's win was impressive in the end and Kirk did a good job and boy, a terrible loss for Tampa. I don't know if that's enough to save his job. And by him, I mean Raheem Morris. But it could be. You just never know what will happen when the coaching carousel, when you put a quarter in that coaching carousel and it starts rolling along. But it is pretty interesting, Billy, that the ripples that one moment can have and the things, the ripples that can affect it, in the pond, how things can be affected across the league. And boy, it's a great point, Billy. It's stuff I was starting to think about, but I don't like to do until the off season. But I did notice the whole the whole betting favorite thing. No change for Marcus Freeman, so it seems like it can change quickly, and that's just the way it is. But it is a reality that Jeff Hafley will probably get some looks in this league, if not get a job in the NFL.
Now,
it is a reality.
Oh yeah, CJ did say 19 penalties for 125 yards. Losing to a team with that stat line is laughable.
Terrible loss.
Terrible
loss. That is a terrible loss.
I think the Falcons had like 9 penalties in the first quarter and a half. I mean, it was a wild game to see. And you're spot on. I mean, that is a horrible loss for Tampa Bay to be able to suffer when earlier in the year, not only were they a lot of people's pick to click to potentially go to the Super Bowl. we were already engraving the MVP award to Baker Mayfield.
Oh, he was everybody's favorite guy. And to some point, I understand it. He didn't play bad last night. Did have the late pick, which was, it's tough. You're trying to fit that in between the corner and the safety. It's that
tough. It's a really nice play.
It's a
really nice play.
It looked good off his hand, actually, to be honest with you. But fortunes change quickly in this league. And as much as they were kind of the flavor of the month or whatever you want to call it, they're sitting there at 7-7 now fighting for their lives. And boy, a funny thing happened on the way to the NFC South title for them last night. And then
the games happened.
All of a sudden, Carolina's like that meme. The games happened. Yeah. That meme. That guy smiling. Oh, us? Me?
I'm right here.
I did it. Okay. Like, so what, hey.
Just like the Packers had
that?
2 games against the Chicago Bears in 3 weeks. That's how Carolina and Tampa end the season in the NFC South. So very, very fun matchups ahead with those two in the final 3 weeks of the year. Going to be exciting to watch. Now, from Baker and the Bucks to, I love being able to say this.
I love this. Bring it.
Kyle Kuzma in the
Come
Bucks.
on now, Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma. 31 last
31.
night from Kuz. An absolute Kuz control against the Celtics in the second half.
Yeah, him and Bobby. I mean, Bobby really infected everybody with that energy last night and the burst, and a great night for Bobby. An unexpected great night for the Bucks, I'd say. And Kyle Kuzma, Billy, I'm going to say it right now. I don't know if it's sustainable. Don't know if that's sustainable.
That might be fair.
Some of those shots, I mean, the baby hooks,
he hit the Kareem
shots.
Sky hook from the right block. You knew he was feeling it.
Some of the ugliest shots last night were going in, or weirdest looking. I mean, but Kyle, I'll say this, and it might not matter in the end, but Giannis was up and cheering last night, mostly for Thanasis at the end.
I did see the Greek freak out.
He
on
was
the
there on
bench
the bench,
night.
and of all people want to talk about Doc and Kuz, Doc's done a good job with Kuz. He's got him focused on driving to the cup, set defense and threes. None of that,
and hitting that
mid-range bag stuff.
Long behind the back.
He loves that long.
Going right at Jaylen Brown.
It's the one move
coast
he knows.
To coast and Kuz control.
He's the kid that worked on one move all summer. That behind the back dribble that kind of matters, but kind of does it. And it just does it all the time.
I still can't tell you how much personal enjoyment it brings me to watch Kyle Kuzma play, because it does remind me of every guy that believes they might be way better at basketball than they actually are.
That's so exactly true.
Right?
That's
like
exactly
you
right.
think you're doing everything on the floor. And last night it was one of those nights where that cup was a trash can hanging at the rim.
Really, he was making everything. And it was nice for the Bucks to feel like the Bucks again last night. Bobby getting the crowd fired up, getting big shots, getting Jaylen Brown in his feelings to push him, and the crowd had the energy last night, and Giannis was up on his seat, off his seat.
See, yeah, you saw a little bit more cheering from the man in all black than I did, but
it was mostly when Thanasis was playing.
When Thanasis was playing at the end, when his for sure teammate was cheering it on. But I thought Kevin Porter Jr. phenomenal, 4th career triple double in his career for Kevin Porter Jr. last night.
How about that? He's looking better and better, Billy.
And Bobby Portis with you want to talk about a night to remember when you go 5 of 6 from 3 and you do get Jaylen Brown in that potentially drawn on hairline to 2-hand shove you after your 5th triple.
Yeah.
That's going to be a night to make you smile. 877-794-1973. So Baker and the Bucks in the NFL, the story. Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis in the Milwaukee Bucks, the story in the NBA with their 15-point come-from-behind win at home last night against the Boston Celtics. What does it mean? Maybe not much, but it sure was a hell of a lot of fun for those at Fiserv Forum. We got a ton to be able to get to all day long. Broncos and Packers, one key prediction. One prediction from a member of the Denver Broncos traveling party that feels like, well, at least Bo Nick said it's the most important one. We'll bring you that and where their confidence is on the other side of Packers and Broncos at 3:25 on Sunday. It's no BS. We're statewide hanging out with you, 1070 The Game. The Score in Appleton, and continuing the good work with Make-A-Wish Wisconsin and the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Go to radiowishes.com now or call them at 877-272-WISH. You got the game.
To donate to Make-A-Wish and give families the experience of a lifetime, go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com.
Whatever it takes.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. Coming off the win over the Bears, the Packers are preparing for a tough road test in Denver against the Broncos on Sunday.
They do a great job. Vance does a hell of a job putting his guys in position, and there's just not really a weak link out there. When you look at their front, their backers, their back end, they've got players across the board. I mean, the sack numbers are pretty crazy. Their run defense is pretty crazy.
We're giving you everything you need to know before Sunday's tilt all day on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1968.
Born to be wild.
In January of 1968, Steppenwolf released their debut album, including the single Born to be Wild, which charts at number 2 in the U.S. Johnny Cash records 2 live shows at California's Folsom Prison, along with June Carter and Carl Perkins. Also in January, the Beatles are number 1 with Hello Goodbye. In London, they launched their own company, Applecore, with a store, a recording studio, and record label. February of 68, Pink Floyd lead singer Syd Barrett is checked into a psychiatric hospital and the band replaces him with David Gilmour. The Beatles, Donovan, Mia Farrow, and others travel to India to study transcendental meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And Bill Graham opens the Fillmore East concert venue in an abandoned New York City theater. April of 1968, the musical Hair opens on Broadway for the first of 1,750 performances. It would spawn several top 40 hits, including Aquarius, Good Morning Starshine, and Hair. Simon and Garfunkel released their album Bookends, which goes to number 1 in the US and the UK. The single Mrs. Robinson would go to number 1 in June, thanks to the movie The Graduate.
God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1968, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1973.
Boston band Aerosmith released their debut album. It fares poorly. It would be re-released in 76 and yield a top 10 hit, Dream On.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, right on down.
Elvis Presley's live TV special, Aloha from Hawaii, is watched by more than 1 billion people worldwide and introduces the world to the rhinestone white jumpsuit. In February of 73, Alice Cooper has a number 1 album with Billion Dollar Babies, along with 3 top 40 singles. Elton John also has a number 1 album and his first number 1 single with Crocodile Rock. Paul McCartney and Wings have a number 1 single with My Love, and the Stooges signed to Columbia Records and released their final album, Raw Power, produced by David Bowie. In March, Pink Floyd releases the now legendary Dark Side of the Moon. It goes to number 1 and becomes one of the best-selling albums of all time.
And everything under the sun is you, but the sun is a great spot.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973, coming up.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bryan Adams to discuss the difficulties of putting a record together, particularly the Reckless album.
If you knew what Reckless took to make, you wouldn't think that, it just sounds like we went in an afternoon and recorded a record, because I toiled over that record for 6 months, I mean, it was one of the hardest things I've ever did. I was completely wiped out afterwards, because I fought every step of the way with everybody about it. And even though I had a good team, there was a lot of struggles. Mm-hmm. But, I come to terms with the fact that, if you want something bad enough, you got to fight for it. And so that's what I do now. I just, I put together a good entourage of guys and go in there and just get in the scrum, man.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
All right, no BS on the game. Armen, I apologize.
That's all right. What's up?
Now, you're gonna have to have a hand on the dump button here.
Great. What a day for that. It's Make-A-Wish Day.
It's Make-A-Wish Day.
It's Wish Day.
It's our wishful giving radio event with Kessler's Diamonds benefiting Make-A-Wish.
We got some audio here.
I missed the Todd Bowles from last night.
I think I did too. Okay.
Now I did preview one 30-second soundbite that included, as one LeBron James would say, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 F-bombs in a 30-second answer. So that one I have not
to use that.
So I did not pull that one. There were also four S words in there as well that are also clear violations.
Probably not worth the risk there, Billy.
This one I think one is the better. This one I think is a little cleaner. This one I think is sums up in a succinct and cleaner way of how Todd Bowles felt his players played in the game last night as they blew a 14-point lead at home in their creamsicle uniforms on Thursday Night Football.
At this point, you've seen everything in the season. You know, the coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Then we're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat. And until that happens, it's not going to get right. So we got to get up and go to work tomorrow. No matter how bad today looks, you got to put it behind you, and we got to win the last 3 games. We know that.
Okay.
It's their fault. It ain't my fault. It's their fault. The coaches have done everything they can. Just so you guys know, the coaches have done everything they can, and it's not us. It's a players' league and a players' game, and it's a select few. Do you hear that, everybody? Do you hear that, Buccaneers fans, ownership, general management? You know, it's not my fault. It's not Todd Bowles' fault. It's their fault. It's you. You have failed, and you will pay. Did you ever watch Heavyweights, Billy? It reminds me of Ben Stiller in Heavyweights. Don't blame yourself, little Tony. It's not your fault. It's their fault. It's the kid's fault. Hilarious.
It's their fault.
That is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
We'll continue until morale improves. Now, if I can walk you through the first answer that I heard.
Take me back on another ride. I love this. It was the cart.
Todd Bowles. You don't make excuses. You gotta care about this. This stuff hurts. It's gotta bleeping mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood.
Well, actually, that's the same. But
how well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? You can't sugarcoat that stuff. Todd Bowles.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He might be completely right. He knows more about his team than me. Like, he might know if he has guys. He sees them
every day.
He might know if he has guys there that care more than they should, or don't care as much as they should. I mean, he might know better than anybody. If whoever's making him
mean something to you,
look bad,
that's a tough phrase. That's a tough phrase for your head coach to be saying about you.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
15. It's got to mean something to you.
Because you know deep down he's like, they're going to get me fired. And they're going to keep collecting checks, and I'm going to be the one fired.
Well, because
I didn't even do anything with my executive assistant.
Dude, Todd Bowles feels...
All I did was lose games. Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of ways you can lose a coaching job these days.
It's fair.
Sorry.
It's like I saw one Illinois fan put the picture of Lovie Smith up and said, no scandals, no violations, no lawsuits. Just dog bleep football.
No wins.
Just no wins.
There's something to be said for
terrible football.
There's something to be said for it.
I also saw another a team vest potentially pictured with that same caption. But like you start to see like Bowles is yearly on the hot seat, perennially on the hot seat for somebody that has done as much as he has is kind of funny. But when you're consistently a run to 9-8 or 10-7,
sure,
many will say, is there a different upper echelon, a different level that we could get to here? I think Todd Bowles is an excellent NFL head coach. I think he's a really good coach. Somebody that also has played in the NFL that players look at and respect because of that. that he knows the game. That can't, and I don't mean to be this guy.
Oh, you want to do it.
That statement can only come from a couple of coaches in the NFL, and a lot of players not immediately tune you out.
I see what you mean.
If I hear that from, all due respect, Liam Cohen, I'm like, brother,
you got to be kidding
how
me.
about you kick rocks?
Yeah, right.
Now you can say what you want about, I'm just going to grab another really unfair stray that Mike McDaniel is going to catch. Many guys are going to say, hey, buddy, okay, that's cute. But when Dan Campbell comes up there and says that to you, this got to mean something to you, man. This stuff got to hurt. Dudes look at that and you can feel the emotion. Todd Bowles played in this game 30, 40 years ago. Played in this league. This stuff means a lot to him. And like that part of it, I think you can understand and feel how that would resonate in the locker room.
Sure.
But I do wonder if, Pete Carroll, he said anything, that stuff's going to resonate. Now, 78-year-old man, 75-year-old man saying that to you, a little bit different than Dan Campbell coming in there who's probably throwing around 125-pound dumbbells. But Todd Bowles, he's been around this block, dude. He's in his 60s. He's seen this stuff. He knows this stuff. He knows what the roadmap to success has to be. Now, has he led a team as the number one guy all the way home? No. He has been alongside for the ride, right? Defensive coordinator when they win it with Brady.
Sure.
But he knows, and he can give you some of the tools. But at some point, as he said right there, dude, you guys got to do it.
Coaches
it's got to be on you.
Coaches have done all they can do.
Can we just, we got to hear that.
I love that one. He's like, I can't do anything more.
That might be one of my favorite things I have just about ever heard, and make sure that I have the correct one here because I don't want to get us any FCC violations. Todd Bowles.
That'd be
At
nice.
this point, you've seen everything in the season. The coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
That's right.
You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Then we're talking about a small select few, but
and y'all know exactly who you are.
And he sounds frustrated, no doubt, Billy. And maybe that is part of it. And how is he inspiring those guys? He mentioned the last 4 or 5 weeks it's a player-driven league. So are they tuning him out? Are they tuning you out because of is it you? I'm not going to sit there and blame him. I know he's frustrated. I don't know his team. He knows better than me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's right. He has some bad apples there that are infecting the bunch, but that was a game they still should have won last night. There was no reason for them to lose the game with the situation they put themselves in a good situation. And I thought Baker had a pretty good game, except for the pick. But there were moments in that game. I mean, that fumble late. There was like 9 Buccaneers around that ball. And how'd they not get that ball?
I didn't think there was any way in hell the Falcons got that ball. And when my man 64 comes out of there holding the rock, he's like, just wanted it more than everybody here.
That's what it was. That was it. And
literally 3 plays later, they're in the end zone, right?
Crazy,
it was that quickly. And
huge play.
You also do realize, and I started to, as I went through my process of elimination on the new Packers defensive coordinator, I also did find myself a couple of times last night wondering how the contract times and, lengths would match up to, maybe when number 8 is no longer going to be in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Figure out a way to get that number 7 up here.
Oh, gosh.
Is Bijan Robinson one of not the most exciting players to watch in football?
He's so talented. His feet move so quick. Billy, we were talking about the Falcons a little bit yesterday, and I made, the references about Kyle Pitts and how they have a certain amount of talent you think should be better, and Bijan Robinson's one of them. I remember when the Packers played them 2 years ago, right? We were talking a lot about the 2023 Packers and Jordan Love's first win over the Bears. And I remember talking to you in fullback about how the second game with me is most important because there's going to be a lot of hype for the Bears game. Win or lose, you got to come back and beat Desmond Ridder and the Falcons. And the Packers couldn't do it. They lost it late, fourth quarter lead. I think it was a 12-point lead. And Bijan Robinson was a big part of that. And you walked away thinking after a game like that a couple of years ago, he was going to be the best running back in football. Like he looked like he was the most talented running back in football, and he's still an exciting, talented player. Can be very productive. So yeah, I wouldn't mind having a guy like that. Are you saying that are things going to collapse there and in Tampa? Todd Bowles sounds done. They're done. Everybody's done there. So Billy, I saw one of my favorite. The meme I saw last night was a prayer circle of Kirk Cousins. And it was a very classy move by Kirk Cousins and other Falcons players to join the Buccaneers in prayer to get Todd Bowles fired.
That's so rude.
It really
That's
is.
so rude.
Now, Todd Bowles is a great football man, a great football mind, a great football coach.
I think he's a really good coach too.
But I agree. But sometimes things just happen against you, and the hardest thing you can do, the hardest thing in sports, is to try and stick with what you're doing. Stick with what you believe in. To believe in what when it seems like everything is going against you. When every play, everything in the world's going against you, no matter what you do, is to stick with what you believe is the right thing. That's the hardest thing to do in sports. It's like, Billy, in a basketball game, we've seen plenty in the NBA or in college, is to try and stick with the fundamentals when there's like you're on the road and there's a 20-0 run against you and you can't make a shot and you're doing everything right, but the ball won't. It's just, that's the hardest thing in sports, and I'm sure that's how it feels for Todd Bowles right now, and Baker for that matter, and the Bucks, who have really lit fire to a otherwise promising year here. So that was, man, I don't know, maybe it's the orange uniforms. I've been lauding the creamsicle uniforms low these many years, but maybe that's the problem.
Weren't they rocking those when the Packers went down there and lost their 8-0 season as like 12-point favorites?
You might be right.
A Josh Freeman Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
I remember that. I was like, what was that? Yeah, I think you might be right, Billy. 09. And that's just a good reminder, Billy, because I know this is going to come up later in the show, that laundry matters. Uniform colors, uniforms matter.
Uniforms matter.
You got to come right. You got to look right. And you can't upset the football gods. Actually, I don't think they did. The uniforms are the best thing about their game.
They might also be the best thing about that entire organization for Tampa Bay, and which has had a lot of success over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've won that division consistently, and they've been right in the mix. But you're not going to get home. People are going to get always upset. Now, taking us to break here, we want to let you know that the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds going on right now is your chance to unwrap the power of a wish. Donate today at radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. You can become a member of the Wish Club for just $20 a month. Become a member of the Kessler's Diamond Club. That's a $1,000 donation or more. That one you receive the awesome quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet
bling,
with
bling.
a Wish charm, $75 value. That comes with each one. That's with the Wish Club, but also the Diamond Club. You get that, as well as a $500 Kessler Splurge card mailed to you after today's event.
So you're basically getting $500 of that back in the Splurge card.
Instantly.
Because I know you were already going to go shopping at Kessler's.
Well, and let's be honest, you probably help yourself out even more there, because then I'm going to actually get something that she's going to like.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go to Kessler's. They don't have anything in there that she's not going to like.
Oh, come on.
They got things in there that she is going to love with a capital L.
Yep.
Almost going to fall in Jordan love with whatever you get her at Kessler's Diamonds.
And also, let's hear for our silver sponsor, Habish, Habish, and Rotier, and our other presenting sponsors, Design Air and Carmex. Great company in Franklin, Billy. Great time of the year for some Carmex. Also, throughout this event, every donation is going to be matched by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. How tremendous is that?
Would you consider now Carmex season?
Yeah, I'm dry as all get out.
Yeah.
You seen the way my hands been ripped up? I need Carmex on my lips. I need
working.
lotion. I know. I mean, no, I'm a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm going to need that little yellow bottle of Carmex.
877-794-1973. It is the season. It's also the season of giving. Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish right now at radiowishes.com. He's Armen. I'm Billy. You got to stay wide on the game. Off to the Packers conversation next. I mentioned one individual's prediction that has the Denver Broncos very confident. Hear that on the other side. It's no BS on the game.
Isn't this great? Your flight leaves at 8.
This is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Every donation will be doubled by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment. Two of the top teams in the NFL meet on Sunday at 3:25 as the Packers meet the Broncos in Denver.
Yeah, I just think everything fell into place at the right time, man. It's just our job to, continue to, execute and do our job, for this home stretch, because it's very important to, what we got going into the rest of the season. And our goal is to go in there and, rush and win. So it's going to be a great challenge, and we're super excited for it.
Billy and Armen are getting you ready all morning on the game.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Blondie songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3.
One Way or Another.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one day. Maybe next week, I'm gonna meet you. I'll meet you.
Number 2.
Heart of Glass.
In between, what I find is pleasing and I'm feeling fine. Love is so confusing, there's no peace of mind. If I fear I'm losing you, it's just no good. You're cheesing like fiddler.
Number 1.
Call Me.
Emotions come, I don't know why. Cover up lies I refine. Call me on the line. Call me anytime. Call me on the line.
Hear more from Blondie and similar artists now.
Search for Blondie on iHeartRadio.
All your favorite music,
All your favorite stations.
all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1973.
In November of 73, Billy Joel's second album yields a minor hit with Piano Man, which goes to number 25.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right.
Ringo Starr continues his solo success with the number 2 album and 3 top 10 hits, including 2 number 1s, Photograph and You're 16. Meanwhile, John Lennon releases his 4th solo album, Mind Games, which goes to number 9 in the U.S. And in December, the single Taking Care of Business drives the second album by Canadian rock band Bachman Turner Overdrive to number 4. Emerson, Lake and Palmer released their 4th album, Brain Salad Surgery, which goes to number 11. And after passing away in a plane crash in September, Jim Croce has a posthumous number 1 with Time in a Bottle.
Looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
I'm Josh Holloway. The national parks have always been a part of my life, but years of underfunding, pollution, and climate change have taken their toll. Join me and the National Parks Conservation Association in ensuring our national parks are available for future generations. For more, visit preservetheparks.com.
I just wanted to say I listen to you on iHeartRadio every morning.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
One more time.
No BS on the game. Armen Sarian right there. I'm Billy. Just had our friend Forrest from Make-A-Wish, Wisconsin stop by as we get rolling here on day 2 of the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Armen, you know that board exceptionally well.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have an
Appreciate that.
Do we have an applause?
We do
sound
have an
effect
applause
that we could do
as long as someone
really quickly
didn't take it out of my spot. We absolutely do have a big
I
applause.
sure hope somebody didn't steal it. Come on.
There you go. Now that's a big round of applause, Billy.
That's for you, and all the way over there. That's for you. Who I'm talking to is are all of you listening to us right now during our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. The numbers that we just heard.
Are they great?
Gobsmacked.
They're great, Billy. Please tell me they're great numbers. I want to hear that news. Come on now.
from the initial reports, the amount of visits to radiowishes.com yesterday by 10 o'clock doubled what they did all last year. Come on.
Woo! I love that,
what
Billy.
we were able to bring in day one.
Let's go.
Outdoing the entire event from last year.
Oh, my goodness. Let's go, everybody.
By not one, not two, not three.
3 times.
Not 4.
What?
But 5 digits.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4.
The
That's amazing news,
that
brother.
you are all finding in your hearts
That's
to be able
amazing.
to help out Make-A-Wish right now is so inspiring.
Thank you, everybody.
This is
Thank you.
amazing. We cannot thank every one of you enough. And this is, again, it has been an interesting year to say the least.
Couldn't say that again.
But when we found out that we were going to be able to have this and do this, Armen, I think there were many people that had a little bit of hesitancy and were a little bit trepidatious, saying, I don't know what's hopefully we always want to be able to show up, and we know our listeners are going to show out. We want to make sure that as many listeners as possible are finding it in their hearts and finding the stories that Make-A-Wish is providing to allow you to know just how much and how impactful your gift and your giving can be.
Yeah, because it's been, like you said, Billy, it's been a weird spot, and we didn't know. So, obviously,
we had no clue.
This is our favorite thing to do every year, and we want it to go well. We want to make a difference in kids' lives. We want to make sure it comes correct, as you say, and provide Make-A-Wish with the donations they need, with the help they need, and be the conduit to you, the listeners, you, the public, the people, the community, to get this important help to Make-A-Wish. It's probably like the 82 Brewers felt when they were told they were going to have a parade. They kind of felt like, really? Like,
are you sure?
Do they want to see us?
Yeah.
I mean, so to hear what you just said, to what Forrest from Make-A-Wish said, our friend Forrest, and we're going to be doing it all day again today, that we've already surpassed last year's total in one day. Man, it's so humbling to hear that, Billy, and I know you feel it too. It makes your knees buckle. I mean, it
really does. Yes,
it makes your knees buckle, and it's so humbling to hear how all of you have shown out to support Make-A-Wish and to help these families and help the kids. Because, like you said, Billy, like we talked about yesterday, this is the best thing we do all year. So I'm glad. Hopefully, we're doing it the best we can.
I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't I was kind of at a loss for words when he first said it.
Yeah, I got kind of surprised.
And took my breath away a tick. But it shouldn't, because again, it speaks to the kindness that people find in their hearts year in and year out to be able to help those in need. And a lot of times, people that you never will have met in your entire life, that you'll never come across.
Never.
But that kind of help and generosity is, I mean, what makes this time of year amazing and makes human beings phenomenal, makes this country great. And that kind of love for those that you don't know and won't see is truly, truly inspiring. So thank you so much. We're going to have a lot more stories coming up. We'll start up with our friend Emily, mom of Elin, will be joining us coming up during the 7 o'clock hour. They'll be stopping by with a story of hope and perseverance. And we, once again, we'll ask you all day long to go to radiowishes.com and check out 877-272-WISH. That's the phone number to call and join the wishful giving event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish. Armen, I've been telling you that this was coming, and that there is one individual that said that the Green Bay Packers are going to catch a big fat L coming up on Sunday at 3:25.
Okay. So does somebody have to go after on Twitter, or how's this going to work here?
You might have to. You might have to mix it up.
But listen, it's fair to have a take. I mean, they are a 10 wins in a row home team here. Okay.
They've won 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
Now, they are, as of yesterday, and when this audio was able to be acquired, I believe on Wednesday, 2.5-point favorites, or 2.5-point dogs are the Denver Broncos. Quarterback Bo Nix was asked, hey man, how you feel about you guys being a home underdog to the Green Bay Packers? You guys have won 10 consecutive games. How does that make Bo Nix, quarterback of the Denver Broncos, feel?
I don't really care. My mom thinks we'll win, so that's all that matters.
See, I can't.
Well, my mom thinks we're going to win, so that's all that matters. Well, Mrs. Nix is calling a dub for Denver.
Oh, boy.
So that's all that matters.
You know, it's hard for me, Billy, to be really upset about that because if mom doesn't believe in you, nobody else will.
No one will. That's
you
fair.
need mom to keep up for you. You need mom to support you. There's no way someone's going to tell Mrs. Nix that her baby boy is going to lose, you know? So I really can't be too mad about that. And I do like that it both feels like if nobody else believes in me, my mom believes in me. So, listen, we all love our mothers. I mean, every good person in the world does.
Right.
So I think that's you can't beat the power of motherhood there. And the fact that she supports him is great. But I'll be honest, if he thinks only mom believes in him, then he might be starting to doubt himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, at least mom's got me. Like, nobody else in the world believes in me. At least mom's got me there. But I do like how he's shutting the outside noise out. I got to be honest. He's like, you know what? I don't care what any of you guys say. My mom says I'm good.
Oh, Mama said we're going to win.
That could be a problem if you're like a young kid and, you know, you think you're better than you are because your mom thinks you're so good and your mom thinks you should be starting and your mom emails the coach and your mom complains at the coaches meeting that her son's not starting enough and getting enough playing time. No, I'm not going to get into my youth sports takes now, Billy. No, but that's okay. Like her son is the starting quarterback on a really good NFL team. So I got to give him a little credit there.
And hilarious to hear. And I did appreciate the fact that that many folks would feel the need to. There were some people that were very upset with that statement. If you are, you might need to go touch grass. I thought it was hilarious time.
If all the things to get weirdly mad about, this is not one of them. And like, I understand we do a lot of rage bait in the internet.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of engagement bait. Like, just miss me with that one. Like, come on. He's just playing around talking about mom loves me and stuff like that. This is not a big deal. But listen, if you need to get engagement, if that's what your life's about. I've seen a lot of people like that, Billy, over the last week. Hey, you go get your engagement, I guess. But come on, there's no problem.
Have you been finding some rage bait out there?
No, it's weird, Billy. It's weird. You know why? Let me tell you something. We got a minute.
Yeah, I know you're watching.
I've had my binoculars out. Looking for those Bears fans. Hey, where are all those Bears fans in my mentions? Where are all those Bear fans? I'm looking for you. 800 mentions. I had 800 tweets on that ratio. And after the Packers BTA'd the Bears, I didn't see any of them.
Not one of them. Where are they? Where were they?
I can't find you out there.
I wish I would have known you were doing that. I wish I would have known you were going to do that. That was awesome. Golly.
Hey, we're going to have a great day.
We're sending that straight to the WBA. That had everything. That's going straight to the WBA, and if we don't win Best Morning Show, this is an absolute sham. 877-794-1973. You can join us for hour 2 of that morning show. It's the No BS Morning Show. It features Armen Sari and Billy Schmidt on the game.
Used to daydream in that small town. Another boring romantic, that's me.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Wish Club member for $20 a month, and you will receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish chart, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Kessler's Diamond Club member, and you'll also receive the bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. or radiowishes.com.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
We start in Milwaukee where the Bucks are nothing if not inconsistent, struggling all season long, even against poor teams. They sometimes just find a way to beat the good ones. Heading into play Thursday night, the Celtics have won 5 straight and 10 of their last 12. That's all over with now as Milwaukee puts together a strong third quarter, winning 116-101. How do you build off of this one?
You just have to, but we just haven't, really. We got a game coming up now. We got to do it again. Can't get whatever the word is. You just have to come back out and play hard again. And that's all I talked about this week. Will allow you to do other things.
Bucks coach Doc Rivers, they're next in action Sunday at Brooklyn. And from football, former Badgers star and current Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt has been hospitalized with an unspecified lung issue. I'm Doug Russell on the Game Radio Network.
Miss an hour of No BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app. What does the future hold for our beloved Giannis?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratas have started open conversations that are active right now with the Milwaukee Bucks about the realities of whether his future is best staying in Milwaukee or the realities of moving on elsewhere.
Make sure to stay tuned as we're discussing the latest regarding the Bucks icon here on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
Low-budget film Easy Rider captures the public imagination with a soundtrack by Steppenwolf, the Byrds, and the Electric Prunes. The Woodstock Music and Art Fair is held August 15th through 18th on Max Yasgur's farm in Bethel. 32 of the biggest bands of the day played to a crowd estimated at 500,000. The event is later released as a movie and album. And with the boost from their appearance at Woodstock, San Francisco band Santana hits the top 10 with their debut album, Evil Ways. The festival undoubtedly immortalized Jimi Hendrix and ushered in the era of large rock concerts and arena rock bands. Also in October, Led Zeppelin have their only U.S. top 10 hit when Whole Lotta Love reaches number 4.
I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh, whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love.
The Allman Brothers Band released their debut album on Capricorn Records to good reviews but limited sales. And 7 years after his last number one, Elvis Presley tops the charts with Suspicious Minds.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1972.
In May, the Rolling Stones spend the year recording in southern France and release the double album Exile on Main Street. It goes to number one in both the US and the UK. California band the Doobie Brothers score a hit off their second album, Toulouse Street, with the single Listen to the Music. More from the summer of 72, Curtis Mayfield is back on the charts with a soundtrack for the film Superfly. The album yields 2 top 10 hits with Freddy's Dead and the title track. And former Zombies keyboardist Rod Argent has a hit album and a number 5 single in the US and the UK with Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up.
Harry Chapin's performance of the song Taxi on The Tonight Show 2 nights in a row leads to a hit. And struggling UK band Mott the Hoople get help from fan David Bowie, who produces their album and writes them a hit, All the Young Dudes, which peaks at number 3 in the UK and in the top 40 in the States.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1972. Coming up.
This is No BS with Billy and Armen on Wisconsin's home for the best sports talk and other stuff. The Game.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night. There's a place on the corner of Cherry Street. We would walk on the beach in our bare feet. We were both 18 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever.
No BS on The Game. Armen Sarian's right there. I'm Billy Schmid. Having way too much fun, as our friend would say, more fun than humans ought to have. And it is a hell of a day to be alive and be on the game and be able to bring you some conversation and some stories of perseverance. Will triumph with our friends from Make-A-Wish, Wisconsin, a part of our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish. And would give a couple of pieces of information. Hey, everybody, don't be a hero this week, but be a hero and check on the folks that need to know how warm their house is supposed to be.
I like that. I like that.
This is the weekend to be checking on the elderly in your lives. We're going to help out a lot of the youngsters in our lives here this week. It is going to get like teeth chattering cold. It's going to be cold next couple of days.
Tomorrow and Sunday, especially tomorrow, it's going to be very cold. I don't know if it's a vortex. I don't know what's going on. I
don't know about all the ins and outs of it
I'm
yet.
not Sam Cuffle. I'm not Mark Baden. I'm not a certified AMS meteorologist. However,
just play one on the radio.
I am someone that knows how to look at my app. And my app says it's going to be very, very cold. Please be safe out there, everybody. And, it's obviously make sure, like you said, Billy, check on the loved ones in your life. Check on your neighbors. Be neighborly. Look out for your community if anyone needs help, or make sure someone's good. And, thank goodness for our great HVAC employees this weekend. I mean, these are the guys that really come through when things aren't working right, and they come and fix it for you. And all of our great employees from We Energies and everybody making sure everyone stays warm and gets this little cold snap, which, Billy, I didn't quite expect. It hasn't been this
is going to be the
cold.
open the doors underneath your
oh my gosh.
Open the doors under the sink kind of cold, it sounds like. Make sure those pipes are able to get some warmth.
Totally knew I was supposed to do that.
Yep.
Totally knew I was supposed to. Now, is all the sinks or just the kitchen sink?
Mostly the kitchen sink, from what I've been told.
Yikes.
That's why they keep the door. That's why they keep the door up front open, so the water main's able to get more heat and some air towards it. From what I believe.
Listen, I'm going to trust you on that one. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Actually, it's okay. I mean, we've got my daughter does it for me. She opens and closes all the little doors in the kitchen
for sure.
All that stuff. So
those are going to be getting slammed this weekend because open up. Slam it. Open up, slam it. But just be careful. Take care of those around us this weekend. It is going to be insanely cold. There's also a scary situation going on in the Milwaukee-ish area over in Muskego.
Okay.
There's a restaurant that is engulfed in flames right now.
Wow. Okay.
So it's kind of a scarier sight over there. But listen, this is also what happens when your boy has 2 televisions on in the studio, actually 3 in visual sight, and this is a dangerous thing. This is what happens, a little peek behind the curtain, when Armen Sarian and I shift, and we have to audible at the line of scrimmage. We adjust the formation. This is like me going in the shotgun, where I can see absolutely everything. Now, for Jordan Love, when he's gone under center this year, and some people have liked a little bit more of it in short yardage, a lot of times that's hand the ball off, or we're running that thing play action. You're not being able to get a full stand of the defense until you're at your top of your 7-step drop. Right now I'm looking at everything, and your boy is having trouble always being able to zero in and with an attention span of a squirrel.
That's okay, Billy.
Focused in on one thing.
You're in command central right now, just like Jordan Love is behind the line of scrimmage. Like
he's got to be much better than I in the gun, being able to diagnose everything that's happening this weekend, because this team from Denver has one of the best pass rushes known to man, leading the NFL in sacks by a wide margin coming into this week, averaging over 4+ a game. You got to be able to help your offensive line at least as much as possible. And I think the O-line has been playing better. I don't necessarily know that you would call it one of the best in ball or that they're performing to that level, but I think they've been better than adequate as of late, Armen. But this is a week that being able to keep down the sacks, where Jordan Love right now has as many sacks and interceptions combined as he has touchdown passes, to keep that number in balance is going to be rather predicated upon his performance coming up this week.
Yeah, to continue to protect the football, obviously be effective moving the ball, but to continue to protect it against a really good defense, as you said, Billy, a defense that gets a lot of sacks, likes to get the rush up the field. However, against a guy, Jordan Love, who's been really good against the blitz as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the Broncos bring pressure, if they choose to use the blitz, if they choose to not. And I don't know, Billy, I lean to you as the expert on this, but it does seem like, anecdotally at least, the offensive line has played a lot better the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. And I don't know if that's just, run and pass protection. I don't know if that's just the addition of Anthony Belton kind of in the lineup more. We talked about Sean Ryan a little bit. I don't know if correlation equals causation, or they've just kind of been able to grow comfortable as a unit together. And maybe the grading wouldn't, when you look at film, wouldn't necessarily support that, but it sure seems like naked eye that they've been better. Now, I think we kind of still hope from another level of the run game, that it's still out there, but it has improved. And obviously Josh Jacobs is a big reason for that. He's really good at finding ways to make something out of nothing a lot of times. But I think we can say the pass protection's been pretty good, especially when the blitzes have come, and you've got the pickups as well by the backs. Have been really good, and Jordan Love's made it work. So it would behoove the Packers to continue that kind of momentum going into this Denver game. It's going to be quite a test. 55 sacks in the year, obviously. As you mentioned yesterday, they're outpacing the 85 Bears. Is that right? Was that the correct term?
The most sacks in a season, I believe, since the 84 Bears.
Wow.
80 sacks per game.
Gotcha.
So even better than the 85 Bears.
Which means they're due for a correction.
So like you said, outpacing them.
Yeah, so I think it means they're due. The Bill's going to come due, and they're not going to keep this pace.
I like where your head's at.
So I'm looking for a 0-sack
now.
game from Denver this week. No, but it's going to be very important for the Packers to be able to solve that problem first.
They also have listen, we already know that their defense is A1. It's one of, if not the best in football. Part of the reason in the secondary is, yes, Pat Surtain, but they also brought in Ufunga from the 49ers in the offseason. And their back end of the secondary, like their safety play, has been pretty elite when you look at what Denver has been able to do and have all year long. And Hufanga was one of the biggest parts of that, of the offseason for them, to be able to grab a guy who has played so much ball. And, Dre Greenlaw, they grabbed maybe two of the better players from that 49er defense, just brought them over, and they've continued to kind of not miss a beat. We did have one individual mention when we were talking about the Packers and potentially needing at some particular point in time another defensive coordinator. Throw Jim Leonard's name in the mix. Well, Jim Leonard's a big part of this crew up here in Denver, and him joining this Broncos staff was something that I think a lot of people were kind of anticipating you would see him go maybe back to the NFL at some point. A lot of people thought it would be with the Packers when the conversation came up that he had conversations about being the Packers DC. Maybe he is a DC in the NFL at some particular point in time, because with his work and being the pass game coordinator for this defense, it would lend you to believe that he's going to get a shot sooner rather than later. To be coordinating his own defense.
I would think so, Billy. I mean, we know how close he was right around here, as you mentioned. And, obviously he's putting really good work out there, putting really good teams out there. And, boy, that's an interesting career, isn't it? The way his career has gone as a coach. I mean, talk about how you really can't predict how things are going to go every now and then. And just starts with his alma mater as an assistant, rises to those levels, was almost the coach, then wasn't the coach, was almost in Green Bay, now there. So, he's done a really good job, Billy, and that's probably a big factor in their success. I wouldn't have any doubt about that. I wouldn't put anything past him in that sense. So I watched, it was a breakdown. I think it was Kurt Bankert's breakdown of Jordan Love and how he's pre-diagnosing and sliding protection and doing a good job figuring things out. So it does seem like that's a part of Jordan Love's game that he's just getting better and better at. And as we know from watching Aaron Rodgers all those years, and for that matter, Favre, he did a great job with it. Being able to kind of play that chess game with the line of scrimmage is one of the most important things in being a great quarterback in this league. More than almost anything physical you can do, it's the mental level of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of things that Broncos D and their coaching staff does try to throw at Jordan Love, and how he's going to continue to try and counteract that. He's been really good at it, Billy. So I like to think that aspect of his game is just getting better, and will continue to do so into this weekend. As you know, it'll be a tough game no matter what. I think, you walk into a road environment like that against a team that's done so well at home. Yeah, you're a slight favorite, but there's no doubt there should be another one of those games that might come down to one possession.
In your opinion, do you believe Denver's getting the adequate respect that they deserve for winning the amount of games that they have?
That's a good question. And respect from a sports book is one of those things that is not. They don't make lines based on respect. They make it based on where the money comes in and how even the line they can 100%. Be and how they can run their business. So it's a tough thing. Personally, I never expected us to be a favorite player. So if I was a Broncos fan, I'd feel a certain type of way about it. But the reality of it is then if you feel that way, well, that's great, because you can get your money in on the Broncos side, right? And feel good about it. If you're a Mile High, that's a good home environment, I would say generally. We did talk about how that's a transient fan base, but you win that many games in a row and you're at home, yeah, you should probably be a favorite. Now, it's notwithstanding the Packers have been a really good team too, and that's part of the reason that they are a dog.
Yeah.
But have the Packers proven themselves yet to be that much of a favorite, that good to be able to command that type of number? I'm not sure, Billy. I was a little surprised to see it, though. I'll admit that.
I was very surprised to see it.
Yeah.
And as you look through some more of the, deeper analytical numbers and all of the different, advantages that you potentially could get as to how somebody plays against this, that, and the third, I do believe the Packers have an opportunity to throw the ball in the intermediate range, right? Like, we know Jordan wants to push the ball downfield. You're not going to get, and I think hit a ton of deep shots against this Denver team. You're going to have to get your EPA value from the 10 to 15, 18-yard variety chunk plays. And does that mean that you're going to have to break a couple of tackles to be able to go the distance? Absolutely. So you're going to need some more yak guys, and maybe this is a bigger Jaden Reed game 2 back off of the injury. But just as much as like Aaron in Carolina says, this is a Josh Jacobs 100-yard game, his first of the season. Remember it, write it down, take a picture. Well, Aaron, luckily I know that you're going to let us know and remind us if we forget, but I believe you. And like, I think that there is thought and reason to believe the Packers could run the ball a little bit on Denver. They haven't had a whole lot of teams run it on them in all reality because they haven't trailed a ton, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've been in the lead for the majority of the time. And some of their numbers, I think, are deceiving because their pass rush is so good, Armen, right? Like, their quick passing numbers aren't as dominant as their deep shots. Well, you're not going to be able to take a bunch of deep shots because you're not going to be able to get 3.5, 4 seconds in the pocket to be able to calmly, cool, and collectively deliver the goods downfield. Going to have to be able to make the most of it. And this is a game where, hard coming off of the one that we kind of just watched where there were some very frustrating self-inflicted wounds on the penalty spot. Penalties going to be at a premium coming up this week. Yeah. Like, this to me feels like a game where if you're going to come out and be victorious, the turnovers, obviously it's too big in the NFL to not mention.
Right, those two things, yeah.
But I think the penalties are even bigger because Denver will break your back when you allow them to get a little bit of an advantage, and you beat yourself. They will then quickly beat you and jump on you. So I think that, to me, as much as it's always imperative to take care of the football, Jordan's done a very, very good job of doing it. I think it's almost more impactful and bigger for them to not put themselves behind the sticks, because you do that against this pass rush and you are in a world of hurt.
Great point. And then it comes back to how ball control is going to affect this game. I mean, the Packers won last week by being able to rip off big plays, and explosive plays are a big part of the Packers offense, and it's a big part of translating to winning in this league. But also, how can you control the ball? How can you get your defense off the field? How can you control time possession? That's going to be really interesting, Billy. Turnovers are a big part of that, but you mentioned penalties, and it's very true. And the timing of those penalties and the type of those penalties, sometimes it feels like those penalties come at the worst time for the Packers. It's just felt that way in game sometimes, but you continue to clean that up. That would be impressive. Talking about Josh Jacobs and getting his first 100-yard game, that's an interesting one because Emmanuel Wilson, as you know, is the only Packer so far this year with a 100-yard game. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that is because he got the bulk of the work and the bulk of the carries because the health wasn't there for the Packers running back group. So if Josh Jacobs gets his chances, can rip off some, boy, would it behoove the Packers to really get that running game going. I'm not sure I expect us to be super explosive in it, but hopefully just effective enough to what you said, Billy. Stay ahead of the sticks, keep the chains moving, and not you put yourself in disadvantageous down and distance situations. That'd be a great thing because the Packers are the best team in the NFL on third down conversion this year on offense, and a lot of that is because the position they put themselves in. They might not have ripped off a bunch of crazy runs and explosive runs, but they've been able to be productive enough to keep Jordan Love in situations to convert those with his weapons out there in his receiving core. And we saw that a lot with Jaden Reed when he returned right away. Jordan going right to Jaden Reed. The Packers used him in the jet sweep game, but also Jordan used him on third down, which I thought was pretty interesting. So him and Christian Watson have really infused that energy into this receiving core.
I'm also excited to see, and this is going to be kind of a stranger one to say, I'm excited to see who gets 0 catches this week.
It's going to be somebody, Billy. When you have a group,
I'm excited to see who
talented,
gets shut out from the Packers receiving corps this week.
And that was like when the Packers were winning so many games and putting up wild numbers with the Rodgers in his peak years. The storyline had to be, okay, yeah, but, Jordy didn't get any catches this week. Or, we didn't get anything for Randall Cobb. Or we only got 1 catch for James Jones. It's always somebody. I mean, when you have a receiving corps this talented and this deep, and finally, Billy, all of our ingredients in the kitchen. Like, I've been waiting so long for this. Watson, Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks had the game of his life, didn't even get a look, right? I mean, it's just Matthew Golden, still a first rounder, still talented. It's hard for me to sit there and say I'm totally disappointed in him when there's so many other guys eating at the table. It's going to work for this offense if they continue to do what they do, trust in the system and spread the ball around to whoever's open and not worry about those counting stats. That's a hard thing to do.
Let us worry about that in the fantasy playoffs.
That's a hard thing to do. That's
for us to worry about.
That's for us to worry about. That's a hard thing to do, but that's a sign that you have a really good deep roster. So in theory, all those guys should be able to get open, giving Jordan a bunch of options. Let's hope that continues. And when you're like 8th guy, Bo Melton is catching deep tutties, it's not too bad.
Yeah, as long as we can live in that spot, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah,
I think we'll be feeling good, and it's going to be a very, very exciting game. Kavika said, "Wow," and y'all say I'm negative.
Well, sometimes
hey,
you are.
Good morning.
Sometimes you are, Kavika, but good morning.
2 in the morning out there.
And it's got to be
Are we
a lot
just
nicer,
waking
though.
up, or are we still going to bed?
That's what I want to know. Like, Kavika, what side of the clock are you on? Are you staying up late? Are you getting up early?
Or does my man just not sleep?
I don't know, man. He might be getting up early to get that Hawaiian sunrise and surf. That sounds right about now. Kavika, there's not a lot of times like I wish I was in your position, but this time I do because I would like to be in Maui. I think
that's interesting that you don't wish you were in Hawaii a lot.
Well,
I actually wish I was in Maui almost daily.
I'm sure it's really beautiful there. I'm sure the weather's great. People vacation there, but I like being here, Billy. I like being home a lot of the times, but I will admit, I'm sure he's just waking up to some beautiful sunrise, some surf, waves on the beach. I'm sure some nice, warm, tropical weather. Can you send us some of that, Kavika, right now?
Do we find a way to get to Kavika for Geezer Palooza?
Oh, that'd be great. Now, I don't think we could drive the bus there.
We can't drive the bus.
But if we can find a way to get there, I'm not taking a boat. All right, though, because I don't want to get seasick. I don't want to get seasick on Geezer Palooza.
No, I'm with you on that. We're gonna
the amount of drinking and stuff that's going to be going on.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna fly to that one. 877-794-1973
Really?
if you have ideas as to how we can make that happen.
Yeah, please do. Let us know the best logistical way to travel there. Really quick before we get to our next Wish family, Maggie in Georgia. Who first connected Jordan's improved play with Toyotathon? Was it one of you, Aaron Nagler? It's so funny that now he's on their ads. I saw 2 of them yesterday. Maggie, I'd love to take credit for something.
I would love to take credit
but it was one of those things that just started on the internet, kind of in the ether, that no one can take credit for. It was in the culture. So I mean, it would be an amazing
I bet
feeling.
someone's taking credit for it.
Someone's
I appreciate
trying.
that you're saying no one is. I bet there's
somebody.
a lot of folks that are trying to take credit for
Someone's taking credit for it, but it can't be me because I don't want to lie in front of these nice Wish families. That
Yeah,
coming
you
in
better
here.
not. Yeah, you better not lie. We got to take a quick time out because we are going to be joined by a birthday boy. We're going to be joined by someone who just celebrated their 10th birthday yesterday.
Let's go.
Elin and Emily are going to be joining us coming up on the other side. Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish by donating right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. More of our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. After this, he's Armen. I'm Billy. Whoops.
You got it.
Let's flip this around. It's no BS on the game.
Donate right now to Make-A-Wish during our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment.
Should I stay or should I go?
Will Giannis stay or will Giannis go?
Giannis has not gone up and said, I want to be traded. Giannis has just expressed frustration, and his agent has had to be sort of the guy behind the scenes that has talked about stuff. And so I understand that what people want is, does he want to be traded or not? It's a simple yes or no question that doesn't have a simple answer because he's elected to try to go through the process without having a firm decision. He's just not thrilled with where they are, but he doesn't know if he wants to go forward.
We're talking about the latest news on the situation here on The Game.
Well, come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971.
February, 4 months after her death, Janis Joplin's album Pearl is released and goes to number 1. The single Me and Bobby McGee also tops the chart. Bill Withers hits number 3 with the single Ain't No Sunshine from his debut album produced by Booker T. Jones. In March of 71, Carole King releases her first solo album and scores 2 number 1 singles, I Feel the Earth Move and It's Too Late. And UK progressive rockers Jethro Tull have a top 10 album on both sides of the Atlantic with Aqualung.
Starts running down his nose. Greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung.
In April, the Temptations topped the charts with Just My Imagination, their 3rd number 1 and their 13th top 10 single. Three Dog Night have their 2nd number 1 single with Joy to the World. And the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers is released, including the number 1 single Brown Sugar.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971.
The Doors released their 6th and final studio album, LA Woman, while Paul McCartney releases his 2nd solo album, Ram, which goes to number 1 UK and number 2 US. The album includes several jibes at John Lennon and the number 1 single, Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey. In May of 71, soul singer Marvin Gaye releases his concept album What's Going On and has 3 top 10 singles. And Rod Stewart's 3rd solo album goes number 1 and has a number 1 single, Maggie May.
Maggie, I wish I'd never seen your face.
In July of 71, The Who releases Who's Next that tops the charts in the UK and goes to number 4 in the US.
Teenage wasteland, oh yeah. Teenage wasteland.
The Allman Brothers released their breakthrough live double album at Fillmore East. And in August, the concert for Bangladesh, organized by George Harrison and Ravi Shankar, is held in New York City. In addition to the organizers, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Badfinger, Leon Russell, and Billy Preston appear.
Feel my guitar gently.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Steve Miller Band songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3.
Take the Money and Run.
Bobby Sue, took the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
Number 2.
Rockin' Me.
I know that it's true that all the things that I do will come back to me in my sweet time. So keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Number 1.
The Joker.
I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker. Give my loving on the run.
Hear more from the Steve Miller Band and similar artists now.
Search for Steve Miller Band on iHeartRadio.
All your favorite music,
All your favorite stations.
all free.
is No BS on the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. I'm Billy Schmidt, Armen Sarian on the other side of the glass. Right now, you have the opportunity and the power to unwrap a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 1-877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. Become a member of the Wish Club. It is $20 a month. You will forget about it immediately. And then each month, when your credit card gives you the notification that your Wish Club money came through, you'll go like, holy cow, I did some good here today on a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, finally, I spent some money on something that was good for somebody.
Finally.
You know,
It's
not another
another
subscription, you know.
first touchdown parlay that loses
exactly.
after somebody decides that they're going to fall on the 1 yard line. Thanks a lot, McMillan, last
Not
night.
another subscription to another streaming service that's so they can fight with the cable companies.
So
right?
I can watch another 4 shows and then immediately forget that I still have Apple TV. 'Cause
Right.
who doesn't have Apple TV?
You got
Who's
Paramount.
Totally watching it.
Yeah, Paramount, I'm sure.
While Armen Sarian and I wax poetically about the money that we waste, you should not waste your money. You will make the most of your money right now when you go to radiowishes.com and help a family in need, help many families in need, like Elian and Emily Cruz, who join us right now. And Elian, you are, first off, happy birthday, man. You turned 10 years old yesterday?
Yeah.
That is awesome. What did you do for your birthday?
I had a Super Smash Bros. Tournament with my school.
Let's go.
Super Smash Bros. Tournament with your school? Are we playing that on the Switch?
Yep.
I love the Switch.
You know, my
Now,
10-year-old birthday was not as exciting, you know.
the funny thing is, I think my 10-year-old birthday, we also played Super Smash Bros. But we played it on controllers that were probably bigger than your head.
That's true.
Like, I'm saying like this big. They were crazy. You couldn't even hold the controller almost. They're way easier now. Did you win? Who's your favorite character?
Kirby.
Kirby is
Kirby's
one
a great
of
one.
the best to be able to use.
Versatile, absolutely can do a lot out there on the field, right? I mean, Kirby's a really good one. So
Armen thinks that he's cool and knows what we're talking about with Super Smash Bros. But we're just gonna let him play along.
listen, I played a little bit, but you know, I don't know it as much as you guys. I'll admit, and Elian knows.
Listen, I always say I'm still gonna go Yoshi. I'll still go old school, and Yoshi's gonna be a hard one to be able to beat. Mom, Emily is nodding along over there.
My favorite.
Good. Okay, so we have some common ground. Now you guys come in here being able to join us with Make-A-Wish. And Elian, you had an awesome wish, one of my favorites to be able to see. You got a camper to hang out with your whole family and go on camping trips?
Yep. First I thought of wishing for 100 teddy bears.
Well, that's tremendous.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah, that's
But
tremendous.
What's up?
I don't know. I didn't know where I would put them. So
you got a camper to
Yeah.
put 100 teddy bears in.
You know, but I like the way you thought through this, Elian.
Something even better.
It's
That
really
is
smart.
awesome.
And you got something your whole family could enjoy too. Yeah. And that was probably something really special too, that you guys could be together.
So when you got a chance to be able to hang out with your mom, your dad, brother in the camper, and Mom Emily is able to tell us a little bit more about it. You were in 2021 being able to come out of maybe the toughest time, Mom, to go through. It's always going to be the worst time for a diagnosis, especially when it's a Wilms tumor and a form of kidney cancer. But when it's also in the midst of a pandemic, I can't fathom what was going through your mind at that moment. If you could walk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, so Elian was diagnosed, was the fourth person in our family to be diagnosed with Wilms tumor.
Wow.
And he was 3 years old when the diagnosis came through. And that was October of 19. So yes, a terrible time to get that diagnosis in any time. Obviously in 19, we had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
He was almost done with his treatment in March of 2020. So he finished up in May of 2020. Those last few months were really hard. We had completely shut off from everybody.
Yeah.
We had signs on our front door that said, "Don't you dare." Essentially, don't even come close. Because we didn't know, and we couldn't risk somebody coming in while he was still in chemo. So he was 4 at that time when he finished treatment. And it was a great opportunity for us to see and look forward to that camper and get a 4-year-old boy out of the house and adventuring again.
Right. No kidding.
After being cooped up with everything that he went through.
And how awesome was it to be able to see, you said being so cooped up and being able to get out into, obviously hard to get out of a camper because they're fun. They're fun.
Agreed.
But when you all of a sudden are able to be out in the outdoors and being able to look at leaves and mess around in the grass, that had to have been one of the coolest parts too, because you're just sitting around inside all the time. That's no fun, Elian, right?
Yeah, like
what do you like to do when we go camping the most? We like to hike.
Oh yeah.
Love hiking.
Hiking is fun,
And
right?
we like to make s'mores.
S'mores, and sometimes I create new desserts.
Oh, that's
What?
awesome. All right. I
New
love
desserts.
that.
Okay.
Like-
Now, Elian, sorry, I
Just said the
apologize.
magic word.
We got to get into the important thing here. You did mention my favorite thing in the s'mores. How are you roasting your marshmallow, Elian? Are we going to burn it? Is it going to be
Great question.
You're just burning it right away?
Now, do you like to do anything?
That's the right way of going about it. You put that thing right into the flame, crisp it up, pull it out, and mom or dad blow on it, and then one bite in. Yes, you're right. Smash that
it
thing
in.
down and go.
And
Okay,
Elian,
got
do you do anything like creative with the s'more ingredients, or you just go right to the marshmallow, graham cracker, chocolate? Or are you doing anything unique with that?
Well, so like one of the desserts I made with ice cream cone with chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
Or no, Nutella.
Oh my goodness.
And banana slices and melted marshmallow.
Marshmallow, banana slices, Nutella, Billy. Can you wrap your head around that? Elian, you're gonna be making us hungry for some great desserts here. I love that idea.
You also just gave me, Elian, a great idea for what I'm going to do tonight. I just decided how Friday night is going to go in the Schmidt household with the little solo stove s'mores maker in the house, because that thing's going to get crisped up right away. So get to hike, get to be outside. You mentioned be with the family again. And so many of these times, Mom, we talk about when a diagnosis comes, it immediately kind of can separate the entire family. You mentioned it being isolated during the back half of the treatment. Did that change, and how did that how did that in the family dynamic lead to you guys being able to be again together and adventuring into the camper?
Yeah, we love camping with family. We've been doing it for years, since I was little or younger. And so that first year that he was diagnosed and sick, we didn't take any trips. We didn't go anywhere. Kept him pretty safe as much as we could. Once the pandemic hit, it was over spring, but it was really nice to feel safe going to a state park, going somewhere where we could have our family at a site next to us in a tent, hanging out outside. And for the next 2 years, that's how we vacationed, was just being outside, knowing we were safe enough to have him in that camper, in a safe space, in a clean space.
Yes.
Where we didn't have to be concerned about that.
It's obviously hard enough to get news or a diagnosis like this and have to deal with things you're getting. But during the pandemic, it added a whole level of difficulty that I think most people lucky enough not to have to deal with something like that were not even thinking about. And that could only have been, I would think, quite a challenge to overcome in that situation for all of you.
I think Make-A-Wish was incredible with us. They gave us all of our options right up front.
Mm-hmm.
They were very open and very clear about how they could help Elian and how they could provide him with something to look forward to. They were in it at that time. They were probably fighting every day just as well. So to have them still be able to give Elian something like this was really incredible.
Go ahead, Billy.
Sorry, Mom Emily Cruz, Elian Cruz, an absolute weapon. 10-year-old boy, just turned 10 yesterday. Super Smash Bros. Lover as well, and got themselves a camper for the Make-A-Wish, for their wish at Make-A-Wish. Now, you mentioned here. There we go.
Just a little happy
make
birthday.
Sure, let's make sure we get a little happy birthday.
Get everyone out there saying happy birthday to Elian. Come on, it's to you. get a little bit. Happy birthday to you.
We don't want to get sued.
That's a good point.
But happy birthday to you.
Yeah, that is a copyright. That's okay. It
Just
doesn't
a
matter.
quick adjustment. If anybody tries to be upset about it, they can touch grass.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
we're making an adjustment on that.
Yeah,
no problem.
sorry. I apologize to him. But in the midst of it, and as I'm listening to you start out here, Mom, and Elian is the fourth member of your family, you said in the start of the answer, to have the exact same Wilms tumor and a form of kidney cancer. Now, I don't even know how to start with that because that is like the amount of perseverance and incredible courage in the family is right in front of us at the forefront there. But at what point did you feel somewhat like, here we go again, and a little bit of, we know that we can somewhat combat this, especially because this young man is so inspirational and powerful?
He definitely is. He's nodding right now. He definitely is.
Come on, you know you're
Yeah, you can see that in the video stream too if you're logged in here. Yeah,
it's a good one.
He told me very recently that he didn't understand the gravity of it at that age. But I think that also was the fact that we had a lot of family around us who knew what this situation was. So his dad is also a survivor of the same tumor, his uncle, and then his cousin.
Wow.
And so we have 4 incredible survivors in our family.
And that is a bond that is difficult to put into words, but makes you and your dad pretty cool, huh? You know how cool that makes you and your dad? Pretty cool.
That does. Definitely.
Yay.
Listen, there's not a whole lot of people that are able to face that kind of a challenge so head on, man. You need to be really proud of yourself. Also, you need to know that my friend Armen over here was asking you about soccer teams and baseball teams and camping and playing video games. What he didn't know is that I got a sweet picture of you by the camper with your Milwaukee Brewers sweatshirt on. You a Brewers fan?
Yeah.
Go.
I'm a big Brewers fan.
Big Brewers fan?
Favorite player, Elian?
The Miz, the pitcher.
The Miz,
yeah. I mean, he's exciting.
No kidding, it's the Miz.
I mean, anyone can throw that fast, you know. He's exciting. He's exciting. So
he's the best pitcher.
He is the best
He's
pitcher.
awesome.
Now, listen, it's not like the coolest thing in the world, and sadly, it doesn't have his picture on it. But I gotta say,
what do you got here, Billy? What are you cooking up here, Billy? Billy's got something.
our
here
friend
for us.
Hunter did have this come from the Brewers clubhouse. Now, it doesn't have anything cool on it, but just so you know, that's yours to keep.
Thank
and
you.
the Brewers played with that in their locker room.
Oh, that's awesome.
So now you're going to have that, and you're going to be able to say you're playing with a baseball that the Brewers played with. How's that?
Yay.
And the Miz might have been throwing that exact ball at some
Maybe.
particular point in time, getting himself better to go. So now you're going to crush it because you are already crushing it. And do we think the Brewers are going to be even better than they were this year, coming up next year?
Yes.
I like that because I think we need a World Series. I think that's the next step, right? What do you think, Elian?
Yeah. I was mad when the Dodgers won
We all
that
were.
game against the Brewers.
Yeah, you weren't the only one, but you know what? That's going to give us the motivation to go get them next year.
Did you
I
want the
think.
Dodgers to win when they beat the Brewers, or did you want the Blue Jays to win?
Blue Jays.
Yeah, we really wanted
Most
the
of us
Blue Jays
did.
to win on this show. We were very, very upset that morning when they ended up not being able to win. Who's
Yeah.
your favorite soccer player?
Messi.
That's a good one.
Good one. Good.
That's a good one to have.
Better than Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. See, I mean, this is sports radio, so we had to make you work a little bit. And give
We
us a
had
take.
to get some hot takes
We had
in
to get
here
a
right out of
take
the
in there,
gate.
so.
Now, first off, the Brewers being your favorite team is a very, very exciting thing. Do we think the Packers are going to win this weekend as well, Elian?
Yeah.
That's what we like
Of
to
course.
hear. Come
Come
on
on,
now.
of course,
That's what
of
we like
course.
to hear
I
now.
love that. Let's go.
Mom and Elian, this is for both of you, but I guess we'll start with Elian because first off, I apologize. You've been answering some of these questions better than definitely I do to Armen's questions. Elian, if you have the opportunity to let anybody know about how helpful and how good Make-A-Wish was, how much it made, how happy it made you, and people are thinking about donating, what would you tell people to help Make-A-Wish and ask them to help Make-A-Wish here today?
How did it make you feel to get your camper?
It made me feel very excited. Like she blindfolded me. My mom blindfolded me
What?
when I came out the door. So
To surprise you, right?
Yeah,
You had no idea that it was happening? Maybe a little idea?
Yeah, but
Didn't know what it was?
I was like,
You didn't know what yeah. Because you didn't know what it was going to look like, right? And
Yeah,
you didn't know what it was going to
yeah.
be like. That's awesome.
Mom, that smile and knowing what that kind of joy was for the whole family, how did that make you feel? And what could you tell people that are thinking about it, wanting to, thinking about it, weighing some options? What would you say to people that are right there on the fringe and knowing how beneficial Make-A-Wish can be this holiday season?
Knowing that everything he had been through was completely behind us in that moment, that he could just look at this camper and know that adventures were coming and that it wasn't cancer on the forefront of his mind, gave our whole family the opportunity to just take a breath. And if you're thinking of the opportunities and the kids that you could help, what a relief and what a joy it was to have Make-A-Wish on our side, for sure.
It's incredible. And knowing the different families and knowing how many people are impacted. Have you guys gotten the chance to meet different Make-A-Wish families and kind of grow into that family and all of those different friends that you have now?
yes.
Yeah, we've started experiencing all the events that they handle and all the things that we can bring both of our kids to. And they've really continue to wrap their arms around every kid that gets to participate and every kid that gets to feel good with this. So it's wonderful to be able to do that.
That's fantastic.
And I apologize, Armin's playing the music.
No, it's all right,
Listen,
buddy.
that's long-winded as I always am.
Take it.
You mentioned it as well for your other child and being able to do that as a family and experiencing all those events as a family. It's not just Wish kids hanging out. It's families growing together that have had a little bit of a shared experience.
Yes. Yeah. That's they're always offering things and events that we get to experience. Like I said, the whole group, the whole family.
Well, Elian, you're awesome. And just so you know, next time you're in here, I'm going to make sure that I bring the Switch and meet Yoshi going up against Kirby. One-on-one.
He's gonna give you work, Billy. I'm sorry. You're gonna get beat so bad. Elian's gonna dominate you, but it'll be fun to watch you guys. Look at him getting warmed up right now.
Just loosen up.
He's just getting warmed up right now. I told him he's used to these headsets. He's used to it. You know.
Yeah. That's true. Honestly, the headset's listen. Where's the microphone? Oh, it's right here. It's supposed to be right here, off to the right. Exactly. Elian, you're awesome. Go Brewers! And thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank you, buddy.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
10 years old, 10th birthday. We're going to have a golden birthday coming up next year. An exciting one.
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting. Mom, Emily, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We cannot thank all of you enough for joining us at radiowishes.com and at 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH and radiowishes.com to be able to help the cause in our wishful giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish Wisconsin right here on The Game.
Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your.
This is the Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
We started Milwaukee with the Bucks are nothing if not inconsistent, struggling all season long, even against poor teams. They sometimes just find a way to beat the good ones. Heading into play Thursday night, the Celtics have won 5 straight and 10 of their last 12. That's all over with now as Milwaukee puts together a strong third quarter, winning 116-101. How do you build off of this one?
You just have to, but we just haven't, really. We got a game coming up now. We got to do it again. Can't get whatever the word is. You just have to come back out and play hard again. And that's all I talked about this week. Will allow you to do other things.
Bucks coach Doc Rivers, they're next in action Sunday at Brooklyn. And from football, former Badger star and current Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker TJ Watt has been hospitalized with an unspecified lung issue. I'm Doug Russell on the Game Radio Network.
Miss an hour of no BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app. Coming off the win over the Bears, the Packers are preparing for a tough road test in Denver against the Broncos on Sunday.
They do a great job. Vance does a hell of a job putting his guys in position, and there's just not really a weak link out there. When you look at their front, their backers, their back end, they've got players across the board. I mean, the sack numbers are pretty crazy. Their run defense is pretty crazy.
We're giving you everything you need to know before Sunday's tilt all day on the game.
When Americans volunteer to serve their country promises to take care of them when they come home. Paralyzed Veterans of America works with veterans and their families to make sure they get all that they were promised. You can help. Visit pva.org.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In June of 77, Ram Jam have a top 20 U.S. hit single with the cover of Lead Belly's song Black Betty. Chicago area rock band Styx have a U.S. top 10 album Grand Illusion, including the top 10 single Come Sail Away.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
In July of 77, the Grateful Dead veered towards progressive rock, adding strings, horn, and a choir on their ninth studio album, Terrapin Station.
Terrapin, and the whistle is screaming, Terrapin.
In August of 77, the King dies. Elvis Presley's found dead in his home in Memphis, Tennessee at the age of 42. Detroit rock vocalist Iggy Pop releases his second solo album, Lust for Life. It's his second collaboration with David Bowie. New York's Billy Joel releases his fifth album, The Stranger. It goes to number 2 in the U.S., with the single Just the Way You Are rising to number 3.
I want you just the way you are.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Try to set the night on fire.
In January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to number 2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to number 1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith Richards. The song takes them to number 1 in the U.S. in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of 67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of 67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to number 7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla in Las Vegas. In May, Mitch Ryder hits number 4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the U.S. as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the U.S. album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967. Coming up.
Summertime is finally here. That old ballpark man is back in gear out on 49.
Thank you to Elian and Emily for joining us in the last segment and helping us today, a part of our wishful giving event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. You have the opportunity to unwrap the power of a wish by becoming a Wish Club or a Diamond Club member today at radiowishes.com or calling them at 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. Now, Elian is one of the coolest kids I may have ever met.
Oh, he's awesome.
He also highly caffeinated. Mom was very, very, very excited to know that she was allowed. He was stealing some sips, if you were not watching us on YouTube.
Yeah,
of a nice, really tasteful bubbler drink. And Mom kept looking over like, "What are we doing? What are you doing? So my man is going to be having a ball today.
I gotta say,
he was
there's a lot of
awesome on that microphone.
He was great, and there's a lot of candy and stuff back there, Billy. There is
a lot of good sugar and candy back there.
I do like that a lot. Yeah, he was awesome. What a great story. What a great kid. We were kind of remarking during the break, paging through his memory book of his pictures, how young he was, how much he's grown, and how much time has passed since it all happened with the pandemic. And you think about all the things these families have to deal with anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's the fourth in his family. None of those other three had to deal with what he dealt with during the pandemic and having to kind of navigate treatment, navigate all the things you have to deal with while having all the limitations that we had in our world during the pandemic, Billy, and not being able to be close to people and be close to like some family. That's the time you need it the most. Okay, so I can only imagine how tough it is, but he never broke that smile on his face the whole time he was in here. So Make-A-Wish is doing the best stuff, the right stuff, when these kids remember the wish more than what happened to them. And that's what this is all about, right?
Amen.
Is making that a good memory, making it something they can enjoy, look forward to, and that the whole family can. And that was his selfless spirit and heart that he wanted something. He said, I could have had 100 teddy bears, but I wanted a camper for my whole family. So,
I did like that.
100 teddy bears, good idea.
Could have had 100 teddy bears. I definitely could have. But I passed.
Man, can you imagine the job Forrest would have had getting 100 teddy bears figured out?
Would have done it, though.
Man, I would have done it. Absolutely would have done it. You talk about a done deal. That's a done deal.
Now,
right
again, poor job by the interviewer for me not to have made sure to highlight this. But as you mentioned it, the fourth person in the family, third in the family to have a wish granted through Make-A-Wish.
How about that? Now, that's pretty awesome stuff right there.
Take that for a number of different levels. First off, what this family has seen and gone through in their lives. I mean, like that just 3 different experiences where Make-A-Wish becomes a part of your family. We are so lucky and thankful that Make-A-Wish is here for everybody and for us. But when you have to call upon it as a family, not once, not twice, but 3 times, that just shows that you have seen a ton and gone through a ton. And you deserve a lot of credit for that family. Also, for Elian to not break spirit and not break mold, and then also to come in here and deliver 2 of the cleanest high fives of all time after we took a picture. My hand is still ringing.
No, he gave it to us right there. I love that. Yeah,
talk about Super Smash Bros. Goodness gracious, Elian.
He did. He smashed it right there, and you can smash the power of a wish. Donate right now, radiowishes.com. Thank you to 262. Asking about the number, radiowishes.com or the site, I'm sorry. Or you can call 877-272-WISH, 877-272-WISH. You can become a Wish Club member for $20 a month, or by donating $240 or more, you get that Wish Charm bracelet courtesy of Kessler's Diamond. There's a million ways to donate. Please find it in your heart. You will never be sorry for donating that money to make a wish. Never.
And frankly, you won't feel better about it. Like you will not have a thing that brings you more happiness and joy than that one right here. All right, what brings us a lot of happiness and joy is talking about Green Bay Packers football with the voice of Packers football. Wayne Larrivee gets us ready for the battle in Denver next. You got the game.
Today is the final day of our annual Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Hear incredible stories of how Make-A-Wish has impacted the lives of so many incredible families in our area. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. 2 of the top teams in the NFL meet on Sunday at 3:25 as the Packers meet the Broncos in Denver.
Yeah, I just think everything fell into place at the right time, and it's just our job to continue to execute and do our job for this home stretch, because it's very important to what we got going into the rest of the season. And our goal is to go in there and for us to win. So it's going to be a great challenge, and we're super excited for it.
Billy and Armen are getting you ready all morning on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Van Morrison, formerly of the band Them, has a number 10 hit as a solo artist with Brown Eyed Girl. In July, LA band The Grassroots scored their first top 10 hit with Let's Live for Today, and UK supergroup Cream featuring guitarist Eric Clapton toured the US for the first time.
In the sunshine of your love.
And in September, Janis Joplin's band Big Brother and the Holding Company signed with Columbia Records and released their debut album. October of '67, Memphis band The Box Tops, including 17-year-old gravel voice singer Alex Chilton, have a #1 hit with The Letter.
Yeah, a ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a going home. My baby wants to put me together. My baby wants to put me together.
And in November, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine is published in San Francisco, featuring an interview with John Lennon. The Who have their first and only U.S. top 10 hit with I Can See for Miles. In December, they smashed their instruments on the Smothers Brothers TV show.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1973.
I will say goodbye.
The Rolling Stones are back on top with the #1 album in the US and the UK and a #1 single, Angie.
Come on, baby.
Let's Get It On is a #1 single and a #2 album for Marvin Gaye. Also in August of '73, Stevie Wonder is back with the #4 album, Inner Visions. And Florida band Lynyrd Skynyrd released their debut album, have a top 20 hit with Freebird, and tour opening for The Who.
Won't you fly?
Fast forward to October, where on their 8th album, the Steve Miller Band debut a smooth blues rock sound and score #1 hit with The Joker.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight joker. I sure don't want to hurt no one.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1972.
In May, the Rolling Stones spend the year recording in southern France and released the double album Exile on Main Street. It goes to #1 in both the US and the UK. California band the Doobie Brothers score a hit off their second album, Toulouse Street, with the single Listen to the Music. More from the summer of '72, Curtis Mayfield is back on the charts with a soundtrack for the film Superfly. The album yields 2 top 10 hits with Freddy's Dead and the title track. And former Zombies keyboardist Rod Argent has a hit album and a #5 single in the US and the UK with Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up, hold your head up, hold your head up, hold your head up.
Harry Chapin's performance of the song Taxi on The Tonight Show 2 nights in a row leads to a hit. And struggling UK band Mott the Hoople get help from fan David Bowie, who produces their album All the Young Dudes, which peaks at #3 in the UK and in the top 40 in the States.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1972 coming up.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are the game.
Don't stop, no BS on the game. The Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds going on right now. Unwrap the power of a wish and become a member of the Make-A-Wish Wish Club or the Kessler's Diamond Club now at radiowishes.com or by calling them at 877-272. Become a member of the Wish Club as well. It's our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. We'll get back to those stories of perseverance, triumph, and let's be honest, just absolute badass kids, like
Yeah.
awesome children. Like we just had Elion in here, who is an absolute weapon, and he is one of the cooler kids that you're going to be able to find. And he just had himself a phenomenal time. Now he's throwing a baseball around that was in the Brewers clubhouse potentially. And now somebody that's been in the Packers locker room lately, and he calls all of their games on the Packers radio network. You hear it on the big 95.7 FM in Milwaukee. You hear it on the Packers Radio Network, 101.1 WIXX in Green Bay, and all of the fine Packer Radio Network locations and stations. He is Wayne Larrivee, and he joins us now on No BS. Wayne, the Mile Get High City has not been a friendly one to the visitor in this rivalry outside of the 2007 miracle in overtime. What's this game like? What's this city like? Because the stadium itself, I've been there one time. It's right in a beautiful spot of downtown Denver, just offshoot. You get some beautiful scenic views, but they got a hell of a football team that we're going to be viewing coming up there at Empower Stadium coming up this weekend.
Yeah, they do. Obviously, they've won 10 in a row. They're a very good football team overall. But the thing they do is they kind of play down to their competition, and thus they've been in a lot of close games this year. And I'm trying to figure out, well, with all the talent they've got and as well as they're playing, how is Washington taking them to overtime? And several other teams along the way as well. The Raiders game last week wasn't as close as that final score would indicate. It was really a 2-score game. But there's so many instances where the Broncos they've been trailing in the fourth quarter, had to come from behind to win. Now they get it done, but that's kind of a dangerous way to play.
Yeah, it's interesting, Wayne, and I think that's one reason that a lot of people are looking suspiciously at the Broncos team. Maybe that's one reason they're home underdogs. But, you did mention that they are getting it done. And anytime you win 10 games in a row in the National Football League, you're doing something right. That being said, I would agree with you that they're very flawed. And reading some Broncos stuff or listening to some of their fan stuff, podcast stuff this week, they don't seem to be ever very satisfied. Now, I think every NFL fan base could say that about their own team. No one seems to be very happy about their own team, but that's what this league does to you, right? We saw it, we see it every week that, the unexpected can happen, and teams can give you difficult, fights every week. Do you think that's one reason the Packers are favorites in this game? Are people kind of looking suspiciously at this Broncos team?
I think the Packers are favorites in this game because the Vegas needs people like Billy to invest in the Broncos. They already invest in the Packers way too heavily, and Vegas is saying, I got to get some money on Denver to balance my books here. That's all. That's what it is. That's absolutely what it is. It's, what did they have, the Packers? 6.5 points over the Bears. They barely covered that spread, but they covered it. With that the 7-point margin. So, yeah, I don't pay much attention to spreads because I think they're all generated on who they want to bet on what team or need to bet on what team.
What do you see, though, in Denver? Because they are a fast and physical defense, much like the Packers defense, and also young. Wayne, I think, is the other thing that you notice when you watch how they play. They're young, and they have some guys who are just creeping into that kind of next tier, that upper echelon of the game-changing players. And I'm thinking of Nick Bonito when I'm circling and identifying those traits.
Yeah, and Jonathan Cooper balancing it on the other side. The interior rush coming from Zach Allen. The Packers are trying to find that second pass rusher to Micah Parsons. They really are, because since Rashawn Gary got 7.5 sacks, he hasn't been heard from in terms of quarterback sacks since. And that's going on, 7 weeks or more or something like that? Whatever the Pittsburgh game was. Rashawn had, I think, a couple in that game. But the Packers need a complement to their star pass rusher. Well, the Broncos, to Bonito, have Jonathan Cooper, who's very active on the outside, and then Zach Allen on the inside. So they've got a complete pass rush in that regard. Very talented, Billy. I think it's one of the most talented defenses the Packers will play. They play a predominant man-to-man defense, and that's usually been good news for Jordan Love, who's excelled against man-to-man defense this season.
Yeah, and they've been pretty stout against the rushing attack too, Wayne. And we were wondering, earlier aloud, and Billy was talking about they don't really trail much in games, and that's part of the reason I don't think teams can run on them much. But do you think the Packers are going to try and get their running game established early against this team and try and control clock? Or, is it going to be the Jordan Love show where they're looking for explosive plays right away?
I think, to be honest with you, I think they're going to need to rely on Jordan Love again in this game big time. Denver's second in rush defense, giving up 89 yards per game, 3.7 per rushing attempt. No, there's no question that Matt LaFleur will invest in the ground game. He always does. The Packers are in the top 10 in rush attempts per game. I've got them at, sixth in rushing attempts per game, almost 30 at 28.9. They'll certainly try to get a run established, but I really think it's going to come down to, because Denver's so good against the run, that it will come down to, can Jordan Love move the ball through the air?
And how can they beat a couple of really, really good corners on the outside? Now, if you're watching the last 3 games or 4 games, Wayne, I know how you go about your prep for the week. You're seeing a lot of balls being thrown in Riley Moss's direction, I imagine, because I know if I'm a quarterback, I'm not trying to throw it at Pat Surtain II. So Moss, very good in his own right, but he gets a lot of action on that other side.
Nobody, Billy, has been targeted more than Riley Moss this season in the National Football League. Now, think about that. Nobody. So people are going at him, but you're exactly right. Everything is tough even in that direction. He is one of the top cornerbacks, top 5 in terms of close coverage, small window in his area when you throw the ball that way. He gets a lot of traffic because of Surtain, but I really think that when you're looking as Green Bay does, you're probably going to have to look to tight ends to make some plays. I think Luke Musgrave could figure in this game pretty well. The safeties for Denver are good. They hit hard. They cover a lot of ground, but they're not the best that I've seen in pass coverage.
Yeah, I think they can get got. And we talked about Ufunga coming over from the 49ers back there, and you hit it on the head. He'll hit you, no doubt about it. He's good in pass coverage. I don't know that he's elite in pass coverage, but you're right. They should be able to have some opportunities down the field to a Luke Musgrave. And what about Josh Wiley? Because as I went back and watched that game this past Sunday, 81, the one catch people will identify and see. But I thought he was really important in not only the run game, Wayne, but they isolated him in pass pro a couple of times, and he was one of the big reasons why Jordan Love had an extra second to be able to throw some of those deep balls.
He's kind of more of a complete tight end. He's not a dynamic pass catcher by any means, but he's solid. You throw the ball to him, you get it to him at a place he can catch it, he'll catch it. And his blocking ability has been really what has kind of opened our eyes, at least Larry McCarron and I, from where we see it in the booth. I really like the way he's kind of a complete guy. Whatever you need done, he'll get it done. Will he be doing it on an all-pro level? Probably not, but he's very good and consistent. He's in the right spot in the passing game. He makes the block in terms of picking up the blitz or that type of thing. He's very solid, and I think that's why he's getting more and more minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm really excited to hear Larry watching this Broncos offensive line, because as much as this is an important game for the Packers defense to be able to slow down a little bit of an RJ Harvey rushing attack for a rookie from Central Florida who can be kind of dynamic, Wayne, their offensive line is pretty phenomenal in not only protecting young Bo Nix, but they open up some big gaping holes in that run game.
They really do. Garrett Bowles, I never heard of Luke Wattenberg. He's a very solid center. Quinn Miners, we know him from Wisconsin Whitewater, and he's a stud. He's going to be an all-pro. Mike McGlinchey, we know him from the 49ers, very solid pro. They've got a great line. It's the number 1 rated line by Pro Football Focus in the National Football League by far, and they've been that way most of this season. So this is the best offensive line the Packers will face.
What are you seeing from Bo Nix? What are your opinions on him, Wayne? Obviously, you just talked about the protection he gets. He's running it. He's running the offense of a very successful team. His numbers don't wow anybody, but he's fairly accurate, although he does have, I think, 9 interceptions this year, which is sort of high. Is he just going to be, the game manager, kind of get you through it with intermediate throws at most type, or is he have the potential to be a game changer for the Broncos?
I think he eventually will be a game changer for the Broncos, especially under Sean Payton, who's a quarterback's guru. I think Bo Nix is in good hands, and I think he's developing nicely. Now, he's a little inconsistent, and his accuracy is ranked 20th in the league. But I saw him against the Raiders last week. complete like, I don't know, 12 or 13 in a row. You get him in a rhythm in that short passing game. He's mobile. He can move around. He can throw on the run. He's pretty accurate on the move, by the way, and he can hurt you with his legs. But the thing if you can get him into a rhythm with those quick hitters, he can be very accurate, and they protect him very well for the most part. I think this is a challenge as well. Is he great? No. Does he have a little bit of Caleb Williams in him? Yeah. When he gets hot, he's really good. When he's not, he's really bad. And that's what you've seen occasionally with Bo Nix. But like Caleb Williams, a second-year quarterback who, when the chips are down, he makes plays. And that's the thing. You can, that's kind of the thing you look for in a quarterback. You can teach him all the other crap on first and second and third downs. But when you got to have a play, when he needs to make a play like what Williams did last week on that throw to Zacchaeus in the end zone with Keyshawn Nixon, could not have been in better coverage. Well, what a great throw and an incredible catch. Bo Nix is that kind of guy. He can thread the needle, and he's got some good receivers to throw to.
Wayne, I really don't like when I'm wrong. And while you and I were sitting up there at 1919 Kitchen and Tap in Lambeau Field for the draft a couple of years ago, and all the run of these quarterbacks is going on, 6 quarterbacks in the top 12 picks. And I felt rather confident looking over at you and saying, this is going to be the worst one on all of them. Awesome, great. That does not prove it out to be quite accurate, because there's one in Atlanta that can't play, at least stay healthy wise. And then Caleb and everybody else has had their ups and downs. Nix is a fascinating study, though, because he played more college football and started more games in college than any player at the position ever. In terms of the NIL and the COVID year, the stuff was so bad at Auburn when I watched it. And then he was much better at Oregon. As you develop, as you're a better player, crazy how that happens. You have better tape and you put better games on film. But I couldn't not see that stuff at Auburn. He has really blossomed under Sean Payton, and it feels like Payton deserves a ton of the credit for not asking him necessarily to do way too much. But once he does start feeling it, you can tell Sean Payton's like, all right, let's do a little heat check here and let's see if you can hit this 35-yard wheel route down the sideline, and let's go for a jugular shot.
Well, like Caleb Williams, Bo Nix has the benefit of great coaching behind him now. Those are Sean Payton and Ben Johnson, probably two of the best players, Kevin O'Connell being another one, that you could be with in terms of developing a quarterback. A guy who has to play quickly, early in his career. And these two quarterbacks have played very early in their NFL careers. And yet, I really think they both are going to be stars in this league. I really do. Nick's a little bit different. He'll be a little more along the lines of Drew Brees, although he has a much better arm than Drew Brees. But nonetheless, he'll be that kind of a quarterback. And, Caleb Williams will be one of those explosive guys who could make plays on the run and deep downfield, et cetera. Right now, Caleb Williams and Bo Nix, to a lesser degree, they make the tough throws look easy and the easy throws look tough.
That's a perfect way
that's just where they are. But I'll take that, because I know eventually those easy throws will become layups.
Didn't that feel a little bit like Jordan the last time we went out to Denver, right? Like that was in the midst of right out of the bye when they lost. They hadn't won a game in like 40-something days. And It felt like, Wayne, you're seeing he threads the needle to Romeo Doubs, I believe, on a touchdown there in Denver. And we're like, all right, who's making that throw other than this guy? And then he had a couple of airmails, but it feels like that was also the way Jordan kind of progressed.
Yeah, I think so, Billy. I think it's a matter of experience. Jordan had 3 years behind, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, well, that's great. But, there's nothing like being on the field. And I think there's a process that once you get to the field, you have to go through as a quarterback in the National Football League. And the early part of that process, you're given to great moments, and others where you just scratch your head and say, what was he thinking there? That kind of thing. That's the way it is. And the accuracy thing. Remember, the first year Jordan was starting, we were all bemoaning the fact, Jordan, you're hitting these big bombs, you're hitting these tough throws, but you're missing the layup, the running back in the flat, and you can't get the ball to him. I mean, that's changed completely now. And Jordan Love has developed into one of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league and is in the running for the MVP. Hey, the Packers pull off a win here and Jordan Love has a good game. Finally, I think the national pundits will get on the bandwagon for Jordan Love.
That would be nice. It does seem like the tide is changing a little bit in that regard. You're hearing more people talk about it. Wayne, any chance then, if we're thinking of lofty expectations, any chance we're looking at a Super Bowl preview this weekend? Is it impossible to think that way?
No, it's not impossible because as we've mentioned many times, there are no great teams in the league. This is the most wide open I've ever seen the NFL. I think it's incredibly exciting because the playoff platform changes on every game. It's amazing. You could go from number 1 seed to barely in at number 6. It's just that kind of thing that's going on here. And I think it's exciting, but there are no great teams. And there are 2 teams with great records, maybe 3 if you want to count the Rams. But there are no great teams that can't be beaten and are on juggernauts right now. Even though Denver's won 10 in a row, it's been kind of suspect the way they've gotten it done.
You never. Sorry, Billy. I was going to say you never know what to expect in this league, including a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers returning to the NFL. Any thoughts on that? And is this a win for all old guys everywhere that think they can still get it done? No, Wayne.
Whenever I talk to players who have been out for a while, I always ask them, "Do you have any eligibility left?" And usually they say, "Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 plays," but then that's it. Obviously, Phillip Rivers feels he has more than 2 plays left in him. But I think it's exciting. I think this is great. Indianapolis is dead. Let's be honest, dead in the water. They've got a great running back, and they've got nothing left. And they've hit the skids. But hey, I just look at what Kirk Cousins did last night in Tampa.
Yeah,
he just reset the clock, set it back 5, 6, 7 years, and just lit up Tampa Bay and won that game.
And just made himself, Wayne, as a business of sports Hall of Famer like Kirk Cousins is, probably another $50 million. Like, it's incredible what you showed yesterday. He's going to suck some poor team into saying, you know what? That's our guy next year.
Absolutely, Billy. How many teams today would take Kirk Cousins, who we saw last night? Almost all of them would, except the top 10 or so.
I think that team in Minnesota might take him.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. So I was at a speaking engagement. See if you guys buy this, because I'm sure my partners in the broadcast booth wouldn't. I think the Minnesota Vikings have the best overall talent in the NFC North. Across the board, all positions, step 1. Okay? Their defense, special teams, their offensive line, all of it. Skill positions, there's nobody better than Minnesota. No one. Okay? All of that put together, but you don't have the quarterback, and look where you are. 5 and 10 or 5 and 6 or whatever they are.
And to your point, Wayne, look at how all of that talent is underperforming when you don't believe you have a chance, right? Yep. Like that's the toughest part is the mentality. Like Jonathan Allen can still play. Like, even though the tape is not as good for Javon Hargrave, they can absolutely still play. If they're up 10 points, it's going to be a different beast, but they don't have a guy that they believe that they can go win with. And you saw Cincinnati. It's a totally different team when you think that you have an actual chance with that guy under center.
You know what, Billy? I think a lot of times, and coaches talk about this, and I'm going to puke if I hear complimentary football one more time this year, but
it's a great game, Wayne, if you want to get really hammered.
I don't care how good your defense is. If it's not being supported by an offense that moves the football, that occupies the ball a little bit and scores, you can't win it on defense alone. Look at Cleveland this year. They have probably, many people think they have the best defense, but they're not going to have the numbers because their offense is 3 and out half the time, and the defense is on the field too long. Second half against the Bears. Oh, and by the way, the game we're going to get in Chicago is 4 quarters of what we saw in the second half in Green Bay. Do you understand? 4 quarters this time. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yep.
But my point is this: if you don't support that defense with an offense that can score a little bit and maintain ball possession, that defense is going to wilt. It just isn't, that's not how the game is played today.
No doubt about it. It's a totally different beast. And it's one in which I think why, conversely so, defensive coaches are going to end up having a little bit of a resurgence in the hiring cycle, because we got a lot of people that know offense. We got a lot of people that got to figure some stuff out on offense. But if you don't know how to stop anybody, we're going to have some trials and tribulations. That Seattle team and Mike McDonald's going to make a lot of people potentially a lot of money. I'm fascinated to see how that one continues.
I'm fascinated to see what are they playing next Thursday night. The Rams and Seahawks. That's the game I'm fascinated by, because you're right, Billy. We haven't, those of us across the country don't see these West Coast teams very often. And, I think both the Rams and Seahawks might be the top two teams at the moment in the NFC. Again, nobody's great, but these are two really good teams. And I like them a lot. I like those two teams over New England. I can guarantee you that. I don't know about the Denver team because I think Denver's really talented. But I think those teams are among the best in the league.
It's tough. You said it, Wayne, and you took the words right out of my mouth. It's as wide open as I've seen the league at this point. I legit think there's 6 to 7 teams in the NFC that can go to the Super Bowl. That's a very, very rare thing to say at this point in the year.
And the big shots from last year, they're barely hanging on. The Detroits and Philadelphia's. I mean, they're lucky to get a whiff at this point.
And that's where the can't miss play of the week comes in. Lions win that game in Los Angeles this weekend.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised by anything in there.
That's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait to watch that one on the cut up, Wayne, after this thing, because I'm gonna be way too locked in, and that 325 window is way too good. I can't wait to be able to see that thing after. We've taken you way too much time. We can't thank you enough. What's the first thing we do once we get to Denver? Drop the bags and find a good steak? What's the first thing we're doing once we get to Denver tomorrow?
I always go and I meet some friends at the Denver Chop House. It's outstanding. Really great Western bar, great steak, just a really neat place. It's right by the ballpark, by the way, right across the parking lot from the ballpark downtown where the Rockies play.
Line over by Coors Field is great bar, great bar,
Yep.
great bar, great bar. Oh, great restaurant, great bar. Phenomenal time. Have too much fun, Wayne, and have a phenomenal call on Sunday. We'll be listening to all of it and talking on Monday.
All right, guys, take care. Have a good week. We'll see you Monday.
See you Monday. There's Wayne Larrabee, voice of the Green Bay Packers, hanging out with us here on No BS. It really is. You want to talk about a fun place to go do some bar hopping?
And it's going to be some nice weather there too, Billy.
I've seen a lot of Packers fans on flights out to Denver over the last couple of days. They're going to have themselves a lot of fun and wearing a lot of shorts because I believe the kickoff temp is expected to be about 60.
You don't usually go to the mountains to get warmer, but as it's like going to be -5 here tomorrow, it's going to be balmy, 50, 60 degrees in Denver.
Going to need the crisp, cool mountain refreshment because it's going to be a little warmer out there. Definitely warmer than it is in here. All right, we're going to turn the heat up, and the conversation is going to flip on its head. We're going to have a lot of fun. You want to talk about maybe one of the most energizing, youthful spirited, fun people you're ever going to meet? Sarah Nyland on the other side is who you're
We got Sarah coming in.
Sarah's coming in on the other side.
The legend
Mom
herself.
Jean is going to be here as well. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. It's our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish, Wisconsin. Be like our friend Jack, who just hit us up on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line and said, guys, send me that link. You guys have inspired me to be a better person. Then sends us the screenshot after making the donation on Make-A-Wish at radiowishes.com. Jack,
really awesome. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you who have already donated, and to you who will donate, who are thinking about it, radiowishes.com. Help us friend in need this holiday season with Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. We're back after this. No BS on the game.
Like a simple song, yeah, so damn easy to sing along. No, I don't need a guitar or a band, 'cause baby, you're my summer jam.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Miss an hour of No BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the #1 Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a #1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to #1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
Love is fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. So won't you listen to what the man said? He said.
In August of 75, the Eagles' 4th album goes to #1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the #1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching #3 in the U.S.
Come on with me, chance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1967.
Try to set the night on fire.
In January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to #2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to #1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith Richards. The song takes them to #1 in the U.S. in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of 67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of 67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to #7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla in Las Vegas. In May, Mitch Ryder hits #4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the U.S. as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the U.S. album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1978.
In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album Born to Run. The album charts at #5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to #18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But you used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit #1. In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to #1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rick Springfield to get some insight on his latest release, Rocket Science.
It's a guitar-based record for sure, and I love big hooks, and not a country record at all. It's a rock and roll record, but it does have some country elements.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from Rick Springfield and all your favorite artists.
Nice to meet you where you been. I could show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you there and I thought, oh my God, look at that face. You look like my next mistake. Love's a game, wanna play. Hey.
No BS on the Game is back. Armen Sarian is able to play some Taylor Swift. He is smiling from ear to ear.
absolutely. You know, I'm always excited to play a little Tay-Tay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got. You know,
trust
I'm a
me, I know
Swiftie.
how excited you are to be able to
I
play.
got a lot of Taylor Swift songs in here. More than like 6, 7. More than that. More than that.
Now, Sarah Nyland is joining us here, and Sarah did say a couple of times 6, 7. And then Armen's life just turned.
I know what the
so
kid's
much
like.
better because
6,
Armen
7.
wants to be cool. Sarah, do you
I
think
do.
that guy over there is cool when he says 6, 7 or no?
No.
Oh,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. That is-
Emotional damage. That's
Thank
all right.
you. Sarah Nyland's here,
I got a long
and
way to go.
as our friend Josh in the Falls just said on the talking text line, said, just so you guys know, the Sarah interview that you guys get every year is legit my favorite thing you guys do. That's not a slight because you guys crush it every day. Well, that's very nice of you to say.
Appreciate that.
But
Appreciate
there's
that.
something about that young girl's energy, and I'm already smiling, and everybody in the studio already is smiling because Sarah is awesome. 11 years old. Sarah Nyland and mom Jean are in here. Thank you for joining us again, Jean.
Thank you for having us.
Now, I love being able to, it does feel like we get to have a yearly rinse, lather, repeat conversation. Now, this is the worst part of the conversation because whenever Sarah starts talking, everybody gets excited and loves being able to get so much of the energy and the emotion and the excitement because you are a lot of fun. And it also is fun when then also our friend Mike would be the mean guy and then we would get to make fun of him, right? So now we get to do that to Armen.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you can do now.
That'll come up in a quick second. But Mom, as we go through the Radio Wishes wish giving event and for the type of diagnosis that comes through to then have an 11-year-old little girl like this changing so many lives year in and year out, there's an incredible trial that goes through it first. And could you walk us through when Sarah was diagnosed and everything that transpired immediately after, because your life totally changes when the C word comes in the equation.
So when Sarah was 9 months old, we went to a doctor's appointment for a well baby check. Didn't think anything was wrong. The doctor felt her abdomen, thought he felt something a little wonky with her spleen, so sent us for some imaging. They did an ultrasound, still was like, oh, it's probably nothing, but we're going to check it out. So we saw a liver doctor at Children's Hospital about 10 days later, and he was in agreement, probably nothing. But then we stopped and got some blood work done, and the next day I got a phone call saying that Dr. Talego wanted her admitted to the hospital immediately because her AFP was elevated. What is that? Well, it's a tumor indicator.
Oh my God.
So there's no way to describe it.
No.
There's days that I just don't remember anything. That first day that at the hospital, I don't recall anything that happened there that day. So we got an official diagnosis when she was about 10 months old that it was, in fact, liver cancer. And we found out about a week later that not only would she need chemo to keep the cancer contained within her liver, because the type of cancer that it is has to be removed, she needed a liver transplant. There wasn't enough of her liver that wasn't affected by the cancer to safely remove it and have her liver regenerate. So Sarah had 9 cycles of chemotherapy over the next 8 months. A lot of complications from that, a lot of hospital admissions, a lot of going under anesthesia for different imaging.
And a year and a half old, up to a year and a half old?
Up until she was a year and a half old. She was 18 months old when she got her transplant. And that was just on November 24th, 2015. So this year, Sarah celebrated 10 years cancer-free.
Wow, now.
It's amazing.
It is. And she's doing absolutely fantastic. And once they removed her liver, the cancer was gone, and she was basically guaranteed, or there's a less than 5% chance of it recurring in her. And so we're very lucky. She's had some complications after the transplant, a couple of rejection episodes, a really serious liver infection, but all in all, since past 5 years have been absolutely fantastic.
Oh my goodness. And that's been when we were able to get introduced to you, Sarah, because when you first started coming out here with Make-A-Wish to tell your story and have mom help tell your story and bring your kind of excitement and energy, how much fun has it been each year to be able to help more and more kids?
Like 6 or 7 out of 500.
That's a pretty high number. That's a higher number than I was thinking.
About 6 or 7 out of 10.
But to be able to see and have so many different opportunities to help you, you know how many people you've helped, right?
Yeah.
You know you're helping a lot of people every single time you come in here and talk, right?
Yeah.
And you know you're raising a lot of money every single time you come in here and talk, right? You should hit that bell because you're pretty awesome. 1, 3, 2, 1. There it is.
There it is.
Now, as you get closer to transplant day, and then once the transplant's over, and as you said, you're starting to now feel confident, and there's numbers that are backing that this is hopefully going to be behind you. Is that when Make-A-Wish comes in, or at what point did Make-A-Wish come into the conversation for you guys in the midst of all those?
In Sarah's case, we didn't start the process until after she had her transplant and she had the rejection episodes and the liver infection. And it was actually, she was recovering from all that when she had her wish. So her wish came at an absolutely beautiful time because we were able to kind of celebrate the end of
absolutely
a bunch of garbage after a bunch of garbage. So it came at a great time, and it just was great for our family, great for her.
You say it comes at the best time, and it always seems like it gives a different level of appreciation for, and we've been lucky enough to have so many people say, like, you almost block out what happens after that, and it becomes like a different demarcation of time almost in your life. But you mentioned how you feel like you're through it, and then all of a sudden you can get brought right back. That's how quickly some of this stuff can change, and we've been talking about it so much over the last couple of days that as much as you always believe the fight can be over, you have to stay as vigilant as possible. It's one of Armen's favorite terms when we talk about our sports teams, but it is just knowing that there can always be another hurdle ahead. But that had to be, after really deflating, talk about just lifting all spirits and like a hot air balloon back up into the sky of optimism and happiness, being able to have that wish granted.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because something with transplant is it's kind of never over. She goes for lab work. We're actually down to 2 months. Every 2 months she goes.
There we go.
But for a while there, she was going for lab work every week, a couple times a week. She sees her specialists. We're down to every 6 months, which is really good, but she can reject her liver at any time and need a new transplant. So it's always kind of right there.
A lot of thoughts, a lot of prayers. Now, a lot of Sarah helping out a lot of people during Make-A-Wish and RadioWishes.com. Your wish was to have a play date with your favorite characters. One of the coolest wishes that we've ever been able to see.
One of the best.
Definitely one of the best. Most importantly, because you get some awesome characters in here. Shrek was hanging out with you. And we know where Shrek potentially ends up being able to be found every once in a while. And then you had how many different characters at your play date? Like 6 or 7?
You had a lot of them here.
There's too many to count.
I think there were about like 15 Star Wars guys there on her Star Wars day.
That's pretty fantastic. I love that.
Oh my goodness. Now, Sarah's done a lot of that good for Make-A-Wish. But also, Armen, as we were able to learn during the commercial break, Sarah was trying to do some good work and some help for our favorite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers. Are you a big baseball fan? Big Brewers fan?
Kind of.
So we're not going to talk about the last series, but how much fun was it when the Brewers beat the Cubs?
Good.
That was awesome, wasn't it? Wasn't that awesome?
Oh my gosh.
So we got to see you trying to call upon the Milwaukee Brewers to be able to hit the baseball. Now, we were doing a lot of
doing
different...
everything we could.
Armen, we should have been trying to find with some bobbleheads and maybe a Shohei Ohtani baseball card as we got to see, like, hey, let's put a little curse on this cat that's coming in here hitting 3 bombs on us.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Sarah did a better job of shutting down Shohei in that series than the Brewers did, sadly.
She really did.
Yay.
Listen, hey, you need to be proud of yourself.
Yeah,
you need to be proud of
very
yourself.
proud. Applause
It was
on that
it was a difficult series, but so your favorite Brewer player would be who?
Jacob Mizrarovsky.
Right away. We have 2 votes for Miz today.
That's 2 votes
There's
for
something
Miz.
there's something about Miz that connects with the kids. I think it's like his superhuman abilities, Billy.
I think
and
he's
the fact
goofy.
He's goofy. He's got
Yes.
the youthful exuberance. I like
fun.
that. Yeah. So, but I do appreciate, Sarah, that you're, like a superstitious sports fan. Cause like, we're all kind of that way in a little bit. So you channel that energy. You were trying to put the hex on Shohei, put the hex on the Dodgers, and you gave it all you had there. And we know that about you. You always do. Now, Sarah, one of the great things about you too is every year you come and see us and you're growing up with us. You're 11 years old now and we've been able to see you grow up. What are some new things you're really into and some interests you have now? What are some things you like to do?
I'm playing basketball this year.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Got our first basketball game yesterday.
Awesome. How'd it go? Good?
No.
No? What do you mean no?
It's all right.
Lost.
Well, there'll be some more games.
It's not always about winning and losing.
Yeah, that's part of sports, but there's going to be more games ahead.
There'll be a lot more games
Right,
ahead.
right.
And you know what that means? Now you got a chance to win next time. That's even better. And how about this? You want to talk about ambition? A very, very ambitious goal. How much closer are we, Sarah, to becoming president? Because Armen and I are excited to live in a United States that you are president of.
Hail to the chief, President Sarah.
Are we getting closer and working towards us becoming president of the United States?
Maybe.
That's what I like to hear.
That's what I like to hear. It's a great goal, lofty goal, but she's got the highest ones.
The smart ones to have.
Yeah.
Also, you and I are both fans of an American history and the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Now, listen, that's something that only usually old guys start liking.
That's true. I like that.
Usually, once you turn old like me, you have to start watching a lot of war documentaries and History Channel. I like that you're doing it early because you want to know the history of the country that you're going to be leading, right?
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart.
So what are some of your favorite things to research? I saw Revolutionary War. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Any interesting parts that really get you excited or get you interested in learning about them?
No.
No. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, something like that.
Can I tell you my favorite part?
Sure.
The United States won.
There you go. We won.
Take that, England.
Take that.
Mom, what are you doing?
What is that? Is that Sarah George Washington?
It is
Oh,
Sarah
see,
That
George
is the
Washington.
great.
There you
You
go.
were George Washington for Halloween?
George Washington.
Yeah.
Sarah, that is the coolest costume of all time.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
Did you think of that like right away? Did you want to be George Washington or were there like multiple historical figures and presidents? Or was that the one you settled on, Sarah?
I wanted to do George Washington
I like
to
that.
make my friends mad because they think that me liking George Washington a lot is going just way too far.
Well, they would be.
I think they're wrong for that. I mean, give me a break.
What?
Are you kidding
one of
me?
one of the greatest generals and leaders this country had ever seen. Sarah,
Yeah.
you direct those conversations.
I
over here. We'll
literally
help
have a picture of him in my house,
That's
As you
amazing.
should.
in my
As we all should.
grandparents' living room.
That's amazing.
I mean, come on. He was the founding father, man. He was the first president. So that's fantastic. I love that.
Now, Mom, at what point during the Halloween ensemble and being able to put it together, you say, "Dude, are we sure we don't want to go like Cinderella?" We
When she first said she wanted to be George Washington, I'm like, really? Okay.
Now, are we going down in line next Halloween, like every year with the next president? Like, is it going to be Adams, Jefferson? Is that going to be how it works? Or are you sticking with?
Haven't some of those gotten canceled?
You know what? Maybe Billy. I
Right,
don't
like
know.
we don't want her to have to take it off, take the
Okay,
costume and
Hamilton.
change it like a middle school.
Yeah. Okay. I guess
we go
you're
right. We go right to like Abe Lincoln. We got a
You
top
do
hat.
that, I mean, come on. I mean, you got some. There's some good ones out there.
I think
Warren
we just
Harding.
roll. I think we just roll with George Washington
That's
every
true.
single year.
I like that.
No,
Oh, I like
No,
are we already working on what next year's going to be then? Can we find out?
no. Oh,
No,
yeah.
surprise.
Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, see Hamilton. There you go. See, there you go.
You
right
called
there.
it.
I called it.
Oh my goodness,
Oh, I just got that ability sometimes.
Sarah, you're awesome. Thank you so much for coming in here and joining us. Thank you for, first off, being a fan of American history, as more people should be at your age. That's phenomenal. And also, thank you for trying to help out the Brewers. They needed your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
They're gonna need more of your help coming up though this year. You think they're gonna win the World Series this year? That's a long pause, Sarah.
No.
No, man. Well, maybe they can prove you wrong there. I'm kind of holding out hope. Sorry, Sarah. I mean, I want them to go, so I'm holding out hope.
Can we make fun of that guy now?
Please do.
Him.
Yes,
Talk
that
about
guy
me.
over there with the big nose.
No, you have to.
Okay.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
trust me.
he's already doing that.
Yeah, I do that most of the days because as Armen sits over onto the other side, we put him over there, Sarah, actually, not because he's got to push the buttons, because he forgot to use deodorant today.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Ew, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that nasty?
That's my nickname, Nasty. I mean, that's what I do. You
Armen
know, Sarah.
Nasty Sarian.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you could tell everybody that's thinking about helping out Make-A-Wish, how awesome is Make-A-Wish?
6, 7 out of 10.
6, 7 out of 10. Mom?
Yes.
6, 7 out of 10, a little higher than that on your rating
Give
scale
them
for
a
people
10
that
out
are
of
thinking.
10, I think.
And for people that are thinking about going to radiowishes.com, what would your last message be to them?
Please donate as much as you can. These wishes help these kids and their families more than you could ever possibly imagine. Some of the kids that get their wishes while they're still going through treatment, it's a huge morale booster, and it just makes everybody feel better. And the people involved in the wish, from the Make-A-Wish people to, the hotel staff to the
All the way through.
Everywhere.
And Sarah, you're all the way in. What grade are we in now?
5th grade.
Oh.
First grade when she first came in here.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing to see them grow up and the time pass.
And we also had our friend Scott Madison
Sarah.
from last year. Remember that you wanted to be president. So Scott's already going to vote for you. So that means that you have 4 votes already in this room. 5 votes already in this room. That's pretty impressive. You're getting close, just so you know.
The 6, 7.
6, 7.
That's Sarah Nyland hanging out with us here on No BS. RadioWishes.com at 877-272-WISH to donate. And join us on the other side. It's No BS on the game.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Wish Club member for $20 a month, and you will receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Kessler's Diamond Club member, and you'll also receive the bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
We start in Milwaukee where the Bucks are nothing if not inconsistent, struggling all season long, even against poor teams. They sometimes just find a way to beat the good ones. Heading into play Thursday night, the Celtics have won 5 straight and 10 of their last 12. That's all over with now as Milwaukee puts together a strong third quarter, winning 116-101. How do you build off of this one?
You just have to, but we just haven't, really. We got a game coming up now. We got to do it again. Can't get whatever the word is. You just have to come back out and play hard again. And that's all I talked about this week. Will allow you to do other things.
Bucks coach Doc Rivers, they're next in action Sunday at Brooklyn. And from football, former Badger star and current Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt has been hospitalized with an unspecified lung issue. I'm Doug Russell on the Game Radio Network.
Coming off the win over the Bears, the Packers are preparing for a tough road test in Denver against the Broncos on Sunday.
They do a great job. Vance does a hell of a job putting his guys in position, and there's just not really a weak link out there. When you look at their front, their backers, their back end, they've got players across the board. I mean, the sack numbers are pretty crazy. Their run defense is pretty crazy.
We're giving you everything you need to know before Sunday's tilt all day on the game.
Here are the top Fleetwood Mac songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Don't Stop. Number 2, Dreams. number 1. Go Your Own Way. Hear more from Fleetwood Mac and similar artists now. Search for Fleetwood Mac on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top John Mellencamp songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Hurt So Good.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should, baby. Hurt so good.
Number 2, Small Town.
No, I cannot forget from where it is that I come from. I cannot forget the people who love me. Yeah, I can be myself here in this small town. And people let me be just what I want to be.
Number 1, Jack and Diane.
Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. To walk on.
Hear more from John Mellencamp and similar artists now. Search for John Mellencamp on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
The entire world watched.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And humanity saw that the sky was not the limit. Achievement, pass it on, from the foundation for a better life.
Welcome back. It's Noobs on the Game Madison, 1070 AM. That's the new name of the show, Noobs, with Armen and Billy, because that's what Sarah told us during the timeout that we should name the show.
News.
She's Noobs.
Noobs.
So what's up with the no BS? It should be Noobs. Well, all right,
sweet. Is that a compliment?
If you're going to be the president of the United States one day, the last thing I'm going to say is no.
Yeah, but when she comes back next year, I'm going to hold her to it, this Paul Revere thing. I mean, if you're going to know about Revolutionary War, you got to know about Paul Revere's Midnight Ride.
I don't think she wasn't worried about Paul Revere yelling the British are coming.
No,
the
she
British are
wasn't.
coming.
No.
She's worried about George Washington leading our troops into battle
to
dominate those stinky Brits.
Just wait. Next year, she's going to come in like rolling up with some like Martin Van Buren facts on me. And I'm like, I didn't know. I wasn't ready for this.
If there is not a better shining example of the life that gets to be led after a horrific start can happen in a life. Sarah had a liver transplant before she was 18 months old. And she's an 11-year-old awesome youngster who just came in here and helped so many people without even being able to see them because of how inspiring her story is and all the energy and excitement that she brings. We can't wait to bring you more of that as we continue. We got one more hour here. It rolls all day. It's our Wishful Giving radio event with Kessler's Diamonds.
This is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Every donation will be doubled by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment.
Should I stay or should I go?
Will Giannis stay or will Giannis go?
Giannis has not gone up and said, I want to be traded. Giannis has just expressed frustration, and his agent has had to be sort of the guy behind the scenes that has talked about stuff. And so I understand that what people want is, does he want to be traded or not? It's a simple yes or no question that doesn't have a simple answer because he's elected to try to go through the process without having a firm decision. He's just not thrilled with where they are, but he doesn't know if he wants to go forward.
We're talking about the latest news on the situation here on The Game.
Well, come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976.
Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to #1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Scottish sensations the Bay City Rollers finally score a hit in the U.S. with the #1 single Saturday Night.
Saturday
In February, former Steve Miller Band member Boz Scaggs has a #2 U.S. album with Silk Degrees. Peter Frampton hits #1 with his double live album Frampton Comes Alive. It would become the best-selling album of 1976.
I want you, show me the way every day. I want you, show me the way night and day.
In March, Irish hard rockers Thin Lizzy's 6th album, Jailbreak, scores them a #12 hit single with The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town again. Been hanging down at Bingo's.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1976 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In June of '78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album Born to Run. The album charts at #5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to #18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But you used to be mine.
In July of '78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit #1. In August of '78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to #1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In February of '77, 60s band leader Manfred Mann has a new band and scores a U.S. #1 hit with a cover of Bruce Springsteen's song Blinded by the Light. In March, Foreigner released their debut album. It goes to #4 in the U.S., driven by 2 top 10 singles, Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time. Philadelphia Blue-Eyed Soul duo Hall & Oates have their first U.S. #1 with Rich Girl from their 5th album, Bigger Than the Both of Us. Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors is released. It's their second #1 album in a row in the U.S., dominating the charts at #1 for 31 weeks. It spawns 4 top 10 singles, including the #1 Dreams.
When the rain washes you clean, you know.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977 coming up.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are The Game.
right, welcome back. It's No BS on the Game or Noobs. Either one of those two. If Sarah is listening, it's Noobs. The new show.
Welcome
the
back
new
to
morning
Noobs.
show. The Noobs Morning Show on the Game, Madison. And welcome into our friends in Eau Claire who are joining us now on the Fan. It's the No BS Morning Show. That's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. It's a part of our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish. And if you missed our conversation with Sarah Nyland and her mom, Jean, you might want to go back and listen to that. It was tremendous. She is as inspiring as any human being is at 11 years old to be as energetic, as fun-spirited, and frankly as intelligent as she is.
Smart girl.
It'll make you it made me feel pretty dumb over on this side of the table, which listen, I'm okay doing. I'm definitely okay doing every once in a while. I do every day when I'm talking to Armin.
She's the best. Thank you. She's the best.
Listen, I think your kind of intellect is difficult to be able to get back.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, but I mean, Sarah was giving me work, just telling me, making fun of me, telling me how she's, which is true.
The deodorant one was low hanging fruit.
Tell me how smelly I am and stuff. Actually, it's great. It's our best time of the year.
Next to you. Didn't want to stand next to you in the picture.
I love her energy. I love her jokes. She did not want to stand next to me, but in the end, I realized, she really cared because Forrest came running in here and said she had to drop off 2 pieces of taffy for each of us. She, I guess, had saved this to give to us. Now, Billy, we love to eat while we do this show, right? We love to eat during radio.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I realized you probably should not be eating if you want to do a good radio show is taffy.
Saltwater taffy.
I'm going to get your mouth stuck up and stuff while you're trying to talk. Not really good. It's like the Seinfeld episode where Elaine ate a bunch of Juji fruits and couldn't talk. I know you know that episode.
Oh, that's my favorite one. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't watch it last night. I watched The Secretary, the one where George had an affair with the secretary. I don't know why I was in the mood to watch that one.
That's interesting. I wonder how that popped up.
That was a weird one that they just randomly popped up.
Was there any stalking allegations in that one as well?
Don't think there was in that one, as far as I remember. But of course, it ended in 30 minutes. So it was like, kind of wrap those things up back in the sitcom days. But no, Billy, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and real life gives us stuff that we can't imagine sometimes. So that was one that was interesting. But hey, thanks to Sarah for coming on. Just a quick reminder to everybody, radiowishes.com is the website. And let me just grab the number because I know some
let's grab that number.
You're
really
old
quick.
school like me, and you want to call 877-272-WISH. And you want to unwrap the power of a wish. All the kids you're hearing today, you're going to be hearing throughout the day to help. Great examples of what Make-A-Wish does for families, for kids that are going through these very difficult things. It gives them something to look forward to, something to come together towards, and something to bring them back together, something to smile about. Are these special wishes that these kids have when they're going through these terrible diseases. So you can become a Wish Club member or a Diamond Club member right now at radiowishes.com. We're calling 877-272-WISH. Let's remind everybody it's $20 a month to become a Wish Club member, or by donating $240 or more. Now, when you do that, you become a member. You get the royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with the Wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. So you let everyone know you're part of the Wish family, that you're part of the community, and part of this great Make-A-Wish group with all these kids and families. And you can become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more. And then you get the $500 Kessler Splurge card. So really, you get the $500 right back on Bling Bling, which I'm sure you want.
And you end up getting the best Christmas gift you're going to give.
That is.
Right? Because, let's be honest, it's December 12th. But there's a lot of individuals that are sitting here thinking, all right, I got a couple of links sent to me, but if I only get the things that she sent me, that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if it's that sweet towel warmer that's definitely the coolest thing that Sharper Image has ever come out with.
Oh gosh,
that you desperately need to have in the house.
Brookstone, like little type of thing.
But if that's all you're grabbing, you know that you're going to be in some trouble. So the Kessler Splurge card is definitely going to come out and help you.
It is. And Billy, it's one of those things, and I said it before, I'll say it again. You're never going to regret giving more money to Make-A-Wish. You're never going to regret helping these families. You're never going to regret having an impact on these kids. And Billy, this is the season for giving, and we say that a lot, but our actions should match our words. Let's be about it. Let's just not talk about it. Let's just not put it in the front yard to light up. All right. Say, 'tis the season.
I like that.
Let's be about it. And Billy, this is the time of the year that we should have more gratitude, that we should be thankful for what we have, that we should be in the spirit of giving. And a lot of times it's not, even though it is, it's not. And hearing these family stories, these kids' stories, really puts in perspective how much we have to be thankful for every day and what we can do with some good by trying to help each other.
I love that you mentioned the you're never going to regret it. The things that I regret were like laying the 5.5 points with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Not the money that ends up going to Make-A-Wish. Now that game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night, if you were on team Tampa laying the 5.5, just know you were on the right side. You had it right.
Just because you lost,
the result is not what you believe should have happened.
Doesn't mean process was wrong.
Your process was correct.
Process was correct.
You were looking at a wounded animal that had already been eliminated from playoff contention in the Atlanta Falcons, whose head coach was potentially 2.5 months away from being the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
To now
I love that.
allowing them to have a tremendous comeback feather in their cap, may have just made Kirk Cousins another two-tree Kirko Chains because he can make himself some more millions of dollars. He's going to get another job now.
Speaking of bling, he's going to get he's going to have the need for so many chains. He's going to have to be a Kessler's Diamond Club member.
You're going to need to be a Kessler's Diamond Club member.
Because he's going to need multiple splurge cards to have all the specialized jewelry.
And you know Kirk is always going to look for a deal. Even though he's a Business of Sports Hall of Famer.
He's going to look for a deal.
He's getting that Kohl's cash.
He's going to get that Kessler splurge card. He's going to do all those things. So
he's going to be
that's a great
coupons,
point.
Right?
That's a great point, Billy. He's going to Great Clips. We
Definitely
already know that because they got clip notes. He's already going to Great Clips. So we know that, Billy. And
he is Crofton Barrow to the nines.
Crofton Barrow. He's St. John's Bay. I mean, he's got the biggest ship in St. John's Bay.
You're not messing around. Yeah. He is only Izod. Like out of all this, there's probably not any vineyard vines that he's rocking.
No.
He's gonna be you're gonna tell me that he's wearing name brand Nike or Under no, and One is generally probably where he would be shopping in.
Only if it's on the rack at Marshall's. Let me tell you that much. Now, the other thing about it, Billy, that's interesting is process and results. I mean, that's the big thing we talk about in sports. We focus on results, but the process can be correct. Like if you had the Kyle Kuzma under in the points last night, I can't blame you. I can't sit around and blame you.
Kuzma.
But he rolled up and had a 30-plus point night. KPJ had a hell of a game. Bobby Portis infused some life into the arena last night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about Bobby that a lot of times there seems to be a split on Bucs fans on Bobby. Like the ones that are, real deep hardcore Buc fans are always sometimes frustrated at the things Bobby can't do on the court. And they get annoyed with what they call the casuals that just see the shiny object of Bobby yelling at them and drool. Yeah, Bobby. Because there's something to be said for that. All right. Because of this is what I thought about last night when Bobby was getting everyone fired up, going on a great run last night.
Getting Jaylen Brown to two-hand shove him in the chest.
And helping the Bucs win a game that I frankly don't think many of us thought they were going to win.
9.5 point underdogs.
9.5 point underdogs. Celtics rolled in winning 5 in a row. The thing what Bobby does in the midst of all this turmoil and consternation about what Giannis will do. Billy, I had a nightmare about it last night. That Giannis came to me and said, "Hey, I have to go. I don't want to, but I have to go." Thankfully, I woke up and it wasn't real.
Oh, so he had to make it somebody else's reason? It totally wasn't his fault, though?
I'm just making a point. Okay, you can have that take.
Interesting.
All the consternation we're going through, Bobby makes us feel happy and proud to be Bucs fans. Like when these things happen, that's why people love Bobby so much. It's like last night he got us fired up. He got the crowd fired up. He made us feel like ourselves again. He made us feel like superheroes again. Like when the Bucs are going right, and they have been going right the last 6, 7 years.
Good work.
You know what I mean, Billy? Is like the way we felt about ourselves. Bobby was the battle cry there. Bobby was the leader of that. He held the flag. He made us feel like, yeah, we are something special. We are still pretty cool. And for a short time, I felt that way again as a Bucs fan. Like the way he got the whole crowd fired up, the way people were, feeling good about themselves as Bucs fans. We've been missing that a little bit, obviously, with this Giannis situation. Mm-hmm. Feeling like you're not wanted a bit. Like, your girl made you feel good again a little bit. And that's what Bobby can do for you every now and then. There's something to be said for that. So that was at least nice to have last night in the midst of a really tough stretch, obviously, for the Bucs for many reasons.
Well, and I do like that you throw that part of it in there because he does have and I understand that could his defensive metrics be better? Sure.
Right.
Could he
the box plus minus?
Could he pass the ball every once in a while? Sure. Like I totally get it. That was always Brian's frustration. Like a really good player. ball just stops when my man gets it. He does call for it. He's like, hey, I got Jaylen Brown on me and I'm cooking right here.
I'm taking a one-on-one.
You see that rock and I'm shooting it from 12 away.
It's going to be a
fadeaway. And I'm
fadeaway.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you kind of know what you're signing up for. And there is, I think, a lot of credence to what you said, where you have at least a little bit of banked understanding. You know what you're going to get. You know what you can expect when Bobby's on the floor. There's also he does engender a reaction that is second to none in that building. Second to none. There's a reason why
feeling good about yourself.
The reason why Drew Holiday called him the mayor. There's a reason why everybody that rolls into Milwaukee and plays for the Bucks starts looking at me like, whoa, this is his town. Even the old Damian Lillard IG story. Big Bob on the ass.
Big Bob on the ass, man.
He was watching him last night.
He was last night.
Bobby Portis was on it last night. As our friend Dontavian Wicks on Packers OT one time said, I come out on it. He came out on it last night. And man, so did Kevin Porter Jr.
Had a great game.
Man, fourth career triple-double of his career. And I don't need to tell you about how potentially different Kevin Porter Jr. reaching his full ceiling can make the Bucks all time. You tried to trade him for Kevin Durant in the offseason.
I did. He's the one guy on this team that has a chance to be a transcendent talent. We know what happened in his career and why he had to take this opportunity. But the reality is he is that type of talent that could be special.
Could be, and it does appear that he is very much comfortable where he is right now. Mm-hmm. And if he gets a real runway to be able to play, you could be seeing a little bit of a star in the making. Like some people thought that with Ryan Rollins. I think there might be a little bit of a ceiling to that. I think we might be seeing a little bit more of that. Kevin Porter Jr.'s athleticism, I think, puts him just a tick above there.
Right.
And his playmaking is, it's top notch, dude. And when he is seeing the floor like he was last night, tough to not see and get excited and think of even whatever ends up happening with the big fella. Mm-hmm. And again, I would just prefer someone makes the decision and we hear from the person who's actually making the decision instead of hiding behind whoever might be talking for the person that ultimately is going to be making the decision.
I hear what you're saying.
So like whatever ends up going down there, you can look and say, KPJ would be an exciting person to still watch, whatever form of Bucks team you're seeing in the back half of the season.
Yeah, and maybe that is kind of a sad reality that we're thinking about life after a little bit, but it is what it is. You can't help but do it. And he might be that type of figure, Billy, as well, because you need someone to market. And maybe that's him. I mean, maybe you don't know what kind of guy could be getting the volume of your scoring and shooting and things like that. And I don't want to say you have to build around someone new. I mean, these are conversations we don't want to have, but the reality is they might be part of our future.
You would really not like to have the conversation that I'm going to apparently be having in about 2 hours. I was asked by a good friend of mine, Joe Shasky, who does mornings on 95.7, The Game in San Francisco. I was asked by him last night, or his producer, big time guy. You got time tomorrow morning to come on and talk about Giannis rumors with the Golden State Warriors?
With the Warriors, okay.
Okay, all right. You know what? For Joe, I'd love to.
You'd love to do it.
I'd love to.
I don't want to miss that segment.
I did have to, educate on the time zone deal. We had a little bit of an issue with, the 3 hour difference.
Sure.
It's actually only a 2 hour difference. So scheduling, we got it lined up.
They didn't know what coast we're on? They don't even know what time zone we're on?
Didn't know what coast we're on. Didn't know exactly where it was. Didn't know exactly how it goes.
That's how much they care about.
Probably couldn't find it on a map. Wow. However, now wants our generational superstar. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some conversations. And I'm interested in these because as much as Armen, I do agree. Like it is tough to start looking past. Got to be able to see the forest through the trees. And at some point, somebody's got to start making some tough decisions. And if somebody doesn't want to make the decision that everybody else seems to think he wants to make, then we're going to have to do our own due diligence. I will do the due diligence for everybody else so you guys don't have to hurt your souls thinking about Giannis trade packages.
We appreciate that.
I'll do all the background.
Yeah.
And I will also mock these individuals quite heavily coming up here in about 2 hours. Because if y'all think that you have something in Golden State that is going to be attractive enough to come for you to come correct, and bring a 2-time MVP to your city to play with Steph Curry in the twilight of his career, I'm looking up and down that roster. Y'all got more work to do.
More than Kuminga.
You guys got some work to do.
Come with me in something else.
To be able to give me a package, no pause, that I'm interested in.
Is it just my imagination, Billy? Be honest with me, because I'm a biased person. I'm a homer. I get it. Does it just seem like the trade packages or ideas or, hypothesized things that I see a lot of media or like media from other markets or national media put out there are kind of insultingly low, and they just assume that we should give him for anybody we want because we're the Bucks?
Yeah, Nico Harrison ruined it. In all reality, Nico Harrison ruined it.
Yeah.
And again, what I'm going to be able to discuss here is the stupid Golden State Warriors ruined it for everybody. They had to go out here and spend the most money ever to acquire, and I do say acquire, an NBA championship in 2022. I mean, they were spending astronomically more money than anybody else was, and just banking tax money and like, who cares? We're going to win the title. It doesn't really matter. So then they had to recalibrate the CBA, change things up where you couldn't just keep spending money. Then we had to put in these aprons.
Yeah.
And the Bucks had already traded a bunch of their cap and all their picks later on into the end of time. This is a podcast topic at some particular point in time as to how the timing of the changing economic landscape of the NBA worked against the Bucks being able to keep this run going. But again, that's a 2-hour podcast that we could be able to do at some particular point in time.
Are the years of getting 5 firsts? Because Bridges got, I think of all the inferior players.
Bridges went for 5 first-round picks. Desmond Bane went for 4 of them this year. Rudy Gobert went for 5 of them.
So I think of I can't help but try to think of this equity logically and think of all these inferior players and think to myself, we should be getting 10 first-round picks, for Giannis. But I think we know that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating because the timing did not work out for us here in the market, it seems.
You're spot on. And again, that's where, as difficult as this will be for Bucks fans to be around, what you're going through right now is going to be good for you. If indeed this turns into Giannis playing in another uniform at some particular point in time, because this is how you do it. This is how you trade a superstar. This is how you drum up conversation and how you get the best offer possible instead of into the night, ship him somewhere else because you don't want the backlash.
Yeah.
You got to take the heat. All right. It's hot in that kitchen for John Horst. I think he knows that. He's been in that job for over almost a decade.
He's been prepared for it.
He gets it.
Yeah.
As much as you don't want to be the dude that has to ultimately end Giannis's time in Milwaukee, I think he at some point probably saw that would come. And I think he's ready to go. I think it'll be, I don't think it's going to be as horrible as I felt like it would be 8 months ago. And also, I think the way that it's played out in the public eye is kind of in the same spot. I did also like Zach on our YouTube comment saying, so Billy, you don't want Draymond?
Man, can you imagine how I'm going to feel if we get freaking Draymond? Get out of here. I mean, right?
I would be the one on the radio show that would not hate Draymond Green being on the basketball
Billy
team.
likes Draymond. But even this iteration of Draymond, like he's at the end of his career, Billy.
This would be the last Draymond Green.
You know what I mean? I understand what he can do.
I would rather get Draymond Green, the host of Why Is Draymond Green Talking Football podcast. I would prefer that Draymond Green come on the radio show than the Draymond Green that's suiting up for the Golden State Warriors play for the Bucks.
And why do I get the sense that we're going to get the JJ Redick effort in Milwaukee version of Draymond Green?
I think it's going to be that good? CJ said the mock trade packages for Giannis are giving MLB selling at the deadline vibes. They're ridiculous.
And that's what I worry about is that, unfortunately, that's going to be where we have to sit and we can't get one of these big deals. And I don't know, Billy. It makes me want to emphasize that I'm okay going down with the ship, just so anything we can do to hang on to him. Because I know we're never going to get equal value, all right, in a situation, but I'd like to at least get something to build our future on. And even if they are late first-round picks, at least they're picks that you can somehow maneuver to doing something. I mean, what did the Thunder get for Paul George? It set their franchise to a different level. So I don't know.
I'm going to quell this one really quickly, and then let's get back to the NFL.
Yes.
I've got a couple of people that ask me, well, what would you get from Oklahoma City for Giannis? And I've been rather curt, and people haven't liked it. Nothing. If I'm Sam Presti, why the hell am I trading for Giannis? Like, just, I think he's one of the best players in the league, top 2 or 3. I know I have one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league right there. I have
they're clearly
2 guys that are going to be in the top 20 at worst right now. And if I check notes, I think they just wrapped up an 82-game run in which they've won 72 of their last 80 games.
Agreed,
or 82
Billy.
games.
Agreed.
Their point differential is something like 1,100 over the last 82 odd basketball games they've played.
Yeah.
They don't need Giannis. They've already got the best basketball team potentially known to mankind at this particular point in time.
Yeah.
They are threatening records like the 96 Bulls and the Golden State Warriors of 2016.
Well, that's the thing I would say is like you it doesn't hurt to get better. Like they probably don't need him, quote unquote, need him, but the Warriors didn't need Durant.
Oh, this is the part that you're really not going to like. I don't know that they get better.
With Giannis?
With Giannis.
That's hard for me to believe.
I don't know that they would.
They don't
get
have
better.
much. They don't have much room to get better.
That's what I'm saying.
I know
like, how are they
wrong.
supposed to get much better?
Well, let's say they have a bad injury or
They're
something.
roundhousing everybody by 20.
I get it.
And then you're gutting some of your roster and your future. I mean, because they have an infinite amount of picks. Like, if they just did throw what Armen said, 10 first-round picks at you, they could somehow make it happen and work the salaries out. But they'd be gutting some of their team. And I'm looking around like, I think we have a chance to do something that nobody's done. You could see them three-peat a couple of times. Like, if anybody would go into,
I guess
if
so.
anybody would be built to do what the 90s Bulls did, Oklahoma City is in the best situation to be able to. Now, you've seen teams have runs like it.
Right.
4 and 8 years is not 6 and 8. Like the Warriors and Bulls, those are 2 very, very different things.
Well, the Spurs had a run, obviously.
Spurs was 5 and what?
5 and
12
9,
years?
5 maybe it was. But like, that's easy to say now because it seems fine right now as we sit in December in the NBA. They did have tough times in the playoffs. They had to go to Game 7 to win the finals. So we'll wait and see. I don't.
They won it by 20.
Let's just fall back a little bit on being the 90s Bulls, winning 6 titles. They got a long way to go. But I get your point. They are set up for success now and in the future. There's no question about it.
And
things
that's
changed quickly in this league, though.
Very much so.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
yeah.
They can change very, very, very quickly. I mean, listen, Jerry Jones said it. Somebody could get hit by a bus.
They could be in jail.
Could be in jail. I should be paying somebody that's in jail. 877-794-1973. Dan in West Bend shouted us out during our conversation with our friend Sarah from Make-A-Wish. Said, man, if Sarah thinks Armen's smelly without deodorant, she should try his chili. No, that's a low blow.
Hey, my family's still eating it.
It's a low
Hey,
blow.
Dan, my daughter liked it. You know, you can talk about my 4th place chili all you guys want, but you know,
are we making some chili this weekend? It is a good chili weekend.
It really feels like a chili weekend. Some sort of soup for sure. You gotta stay warm and stick to the ribs. Have that type of meal that sticks to your ribs. You gotta stay warm with some chili. Maybe
should I bring in some ribs on Sunday?
Billy, you know, if you bring in those ribs, I'm ready to eat them.
Well,
but
I
you're
also
gonna get out there in the smoker and that much cold. I mean, why not, right? But it's gotta be.
There's a nice little heated blanket, like a insulated blanket you can throw up on that Traeger. I've seen a couple of people do it. I don't have one. I might need one because that would be like the last piece of grill merchandise that I don't have.
That's true. It does seem like a good chili weekend. I'm into the stroganoff game now too. You know, I shifted a little bit. I'm doing the beef stroganoff too. I'm not a one-trick pony. All right, Dan. Let's see your chili, Dan. I love to see what you're coming up with. Let's see your chili.
Now, I will say, Dan, we deserve a shout out. Dan did. I finally believe Nick Brusewitz has the Nick jersey that our friend Dan in West Bend
Finally, that's good.
Gifted to Nick Brusewitz.
Well, we do love Dan in West Bend. That was nice.
Love Dan in West Bend.
And happy birthday, Nick. I don't want to miss that. It was his birthday yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Well, I think we missed it then.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to miss saying it late. Can I say it that way? I don't want to miss saying happy birthday to you late. Happy birthday to the bruiser, Nick Brusewitz. Does Billy know he has the wipeout laugh? Dan Monona. Do you know what that reference is?
I don't, but
I've been trying to figure it out. So, Dan,
I know, but I like
Wayne
it.
in Nash Vegas. Dang, Armen, I had a dream about Giannis last night, too, but mine was different. I sat next to him on a train or something. He said he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He needs to be a Buck for life. Well, yours turned out a lot better than mine.
That one's better. That one's the one you wish you had.
The weird thing is that there was trade in my dream. Trade rumor was Seattle, which doesn't have a team anymore. So I don't know.
So
man.
Where did you and Giannis meet in this dream that you had last night?
No idea where we were. I don't know where we were, what the
Were
situation
you guys
was.
at the Potawatomi Sportsbook betting the winning edge?
I should have been. I should have been betting the Kyle Kuzma over.
Or Kyle Kuzma first basket.
First basket is killing it. Yeah,
could have been a fun one yesterday, 10-1 for certain individuals that were at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, 877-794-1973. Let me give you a little bit of news here.
All right, is this breaking, Billy? What'd you say?
I don't. Yeah, it is breaking, and it has something to do with a former Green Bay Packer.
Big news. From Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
So I'll feel a little validated with this one. And maybe, just maybe, we don't know everything when we're watching professional football on television. Sources. The New York Jets have signed starting center Josh Myers to a 2-year, $11 million contract extension that ties him to New York through the 2027 season. Okay. Jets now have 4 of their 5 offensive linemen under contract for next year who are playing at the moment. Myers went to the Jets 1 year, $2.5 million, rather unceremonious contract that he signed in the offseason, wins the job, takes over their center spot, and it felt like it was just a nice little marriage with him and his college teammate Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Well, Fields gets benched and has the owner of the team saying, like, we just need somebody that can complete a pass. Like, how can we judge the head coach? Have you seen our quarterback?
Have you seen our quarterback? Have you seen our quarterback?
He can't complete any passes. So Myers gets in there, I think, because of his relationship with Fields and try to get a little bit of a calming influence in front of him. And I was stunned that Myers didn't have more of a market last year.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
Did I think he was one of the best centers in football? No. Did I think he was beyond serviceable? Yes. I thought he's a good starting center in the NFL.
But the league, the market didn't think that.
Said, you don't know ball.
Yeah.
Like looked me in the eye and said, I don't know what you're watching. He's replacement level at best.
So is he proving you right now by the extension?
I'm glad you said that, Armen. I think so. I think just a little bit. Now, would he have gotten more money if he would have hit in the free agent market? Potentially.
But he probably wants to reward the Jets.
I think the agents his agent would be doing his due diligence, having an idea like $5 million around the league. That's probably what you're worth. Now, the top center in the market, Drew Dahlman, signed for 3 years, $28 million guaranteed. So, I mean, you're right in the wheelhouse as to what I kind of thought he would get last year.
Yeah.
Middle of the market money for a good, maybe not great, starting caliber offensive lineman playing the position right in the middle of your offense. And Josh, you could do a lot worse than Josh Myers. I think the Packers might have seen at some point this year, ooh, maybe we didn't know exactly what we had until it was gone.
Yeah.
And once Myers left, you realized that you had a little bit of hole up there in front of that beautiful quarterback Jordan Love slinging the rock and trying to chuck deep balls all over the place. You need a little bit more consistency up front. Josh Myers gave you a lot of that and played a ton of ball for you.
And that is quite an interesting case study on how the league looks at personnel and value and analyzes linemen because, I leave that to you, Billy, usually, but that was quite shocking at the time. And I wonder now with them trying to give him the extension early and him taking it, is it both sides appreciating the shared risk and the shared reward, saying, we don't want you to hit free agency, but we also think we're coming correct with the money. It's a really interesting thing. I remember when Corey Linsley got broke off by the Chargers.
Big time.
And I never knew he was worth that much at the time either. So it's hard to kind of judge what other teams think value is until it happens in the market.
Brian Windhorst, this courtesy of your friends at Full Court Press.
Yeah.
Basketball aggregator. NBA teams have a bit of trepidation about committing potentially $300 million to Giannis Antetokounmpo through his mid-30s.
Interesting.
According to Brian Windhorst. I don't know exactly where he said that.
Interesting. Okay.
When he did that, but if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I show him right there on October 1st, 2026, and say,
"We'll do it.
4 years, $275 million. Sign it right now."
Will he turn that down? I don't think this is over, Billy. I think there's still hope in the future. I really do. I think he's weighing his options.
Maybe he's gonna make Wayne's dream come true.
This is the place where you would get the money that he wants, where you would get the most. He would get the loyal. I'm holding out hope, Billy. I'm not giving up.
He ain't giving up.
I'm not giving up at all.
I
think it's going to be tough for them to figure out a trade package with a team that's still a contender for him to win and to satisfy all the needs. It might be tougher than anyone thinks for him to get traded, and therefore it might be tough for him to get money anywhere else. And Giannis likes to make sure he's set up.
Yeah, if anybody's about that cash, straight cash is the way you come correct and talk to Giannis Antetokounmpo. That might be the case. Interesting development there. You want an interesting development and maybe the best wish that a late 80s, early 90s kid would love? Wait till you hear our friend Tanya on the other side and the wish that she had granted in 1990 with Make-A-Wish and why she is continuing to come back to tell the story of Make-A-Wish and how awesome Make-A-Wish Wisconsin is. It's a part of our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamond, radiowishes.com, radiowishes.com to be a part of it. We bring you another story of courage, perseverance, and triumph on the other side. It's no BS in the game.
We got no choice but to turn it sideways. I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. Wait, oh my God.
To donate to Make-A-Wish and give families the experience of a lifetime, go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. Two of the top teams in the NFL meet on Sunday at 3:25 as the Packers meet the Broncos in Denver.
Yeah, I just think everything fell into place at the right time, and it's just our job to continue to execute and do our job for this home stretch because it's very important to what we got going into the rest of the season. And our goal is to go in there and for us to win. So it's going to be a great challenge, and we're super excited for it.
Billy and Armen are getting you ready all morning on The Game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Eagles songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Life in the Fast Lane.
He was too tired to make it. She was too tired to fight about it. Life in the fast lane surely make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane. Life in the fast lane. Everything all the time.
Number 2, Take It Easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe.
Number 1, Hotel California.
There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Hear more from the Eagles and similar artists now. Search for the Eagles on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio. Here are the top foreigner songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Hot Blooded.
I'll show you loving like you never knew. That's why I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. Feel the fever burning inside of me. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance?
Number 2, I Want to Know What Love Is.
Change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show
number 1. Cold as Ice.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hear more from Foreigner and similar artists now. Search for Foreigner on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Prince songs you've thumbed up. Number 3, Little Red Corvette.
Well, Saturday night, I guess that makes it all right. You say, baby, I ain't got enough gas. Oh, yeah. Little red Corvette. Baby, your mind's too fast. Yes, you are.
Number 2, 1999.
2000 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
Number 1, When Doves Cry.
Baby, you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Hear more from Prince and similar artists now. Search for Prince on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
We're back on the Game and the Fan in Eau Claire. It's the No BS Morning Show with Armen Sarian and Billy Schmid. It's our wishful giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish now. Donate immediately at radiowishes.com or by calling them at 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH. You can't donate at this exact moment. Well, we can wait for your lunch break. RadioWishes.com will be there as well. Or if you're driving, when you get to your location safely, RadioWishes.com. Or, if you're going to hit it on that CarPlay, then you can call 877-272-WISH. Because, Armen, with the amount of online shopping and Cyber Mondays and Christmas deals going on, everyone knows their credit card number. You can do that and you can recite
Great
that
point.
one. You'll be
Yeah,
okay.
good point, Billy.
You've typed it in enough. You've been buying enough stuff over the last couple of weeks. I've seen all of those boxes from Amazon and FedEx at your front door. You know it. And radiowishes.com is the easiest place to turn some of that into help for a family in need, a young child in need. And you can become a Wish Club member for just $20 a month or by donating $240 or more. The Kessler's Diamond Club is available as well. $1,000 or more. Immediately get a $500 Kessler Splurge card just for becoming a member. You also receive what you receive when you become a Wish Club member, which is a awesome quartz and gold filled beaded stretch bracelet with a Wish charm, $75 value courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Please help us there as we continue our conversations and Wish discussions with somebody who had maybe Armen Sarian's wish at one particular point in his life.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
Armen Sarian's wish at one particular point in time. Tanya Krieger joins us now on the talk and text line. And Tanya, I appreciate the time. We say wish kid, but the current age is a little different for our wish kid who was able to meet one of your favorites at one point back in 1990, Don Makowski. Tanya, thank you for your time and thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So first off, we want to talk about how you have been able to stay in touch with Make-A-Wish and why it is so impactful for you to continue helping and spreading the words of Make-A-Wish. But, I'm reading here, Tanya. It says Tanya enjoys watching sports, pets, working with kids, reading, and the Dallas Cowboys. But how did somebody that likes the Dallas Cowboys want to meet Don Makowski? Because that's a beautiful wish back in 1990.
Yeah, I was a big Packer fan. Just had my 10th birthday when I met him.
That is so cool.
I love Don Makowski. And when he left the Packers, of course, Favre took over. But I just started watching Troy Aikman. And ever since then, I've been a Cowboy fan. But I just love football in general.
Well, that's the important thing.
And I still follow Don.
Go ahead, Tanya.
I
Sorry.
still followed Don through his career and everything,
Yeah.
but I was a Cowboy fan.
Well, there was nobody cooler in 1990 than Don Mikowski. There's no,
amen to that.
he was, before Rodgers, before Favre, there was one guy that was bringing the magic back to town, and that was definitely number 7, Don Mikowski. And man, I should have been wearing my number 7 Don Mikowski jersey today, Billy. I should have been. That would have been perfect. And Tanya, I saw also that you've stayed in touch with him throughout the years, and that seems to be a pretty cool thing as well. I saw that he autographed that awesome Magic Man poster that was popular. That poster was cool. How cool has it been to be able to stay in contact with him all these years?
It's really special. It's more of a friend these days. Him and his wife, we talk a lot. I was actually at that poster shoot with my family, so that was really fun.
Oh, you witness history.
There was a lot of events.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Now, when you first saw the did you know that if you were at that shoot that poster was going to be as cool as all of us realized it was when it was hanging up on everyone's wall? Did you have an idea that it was going to be maybe the bestseller at the Scholastic Book Fair?
Well, I was about 11, so no, I was clueless.
It is an awesome one, and these pictures that are shared here, Tanya, are tremendous. Now, battling through spina bifida, scoliosis, and lung problems, if you could walk us through, you mentioned that you were 11 when your wish was granted. How old were you when Make-A-Wish came into your life and you became what you then are able to grow into, which is an incredible alumni of Make-A-Wish?
Well, I was 9 when my wish started the process, and then it happened when I was 10, which it should have been done then, but I was invited by Don to many Packer events for the next 3 years while he was with the Packers. And I volunteered with Make-A-Wish as a grown-up, and I work in a daycare, so I've always worked around kids. I actually got a degree in radio, TV, film, but kids are my real passion.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're doing a lot. You're doing something a lot more important and a lot better than radio, TV, film, Tanya. Let me tell you that much. You're helping a lot more people than we are making jokes and fart noises into a microphone. But as you talk about being able to help kids, how awesome is it being able to still, as you mentioned, volunteer with Make-A-Wish and have that be a passion project on top of just your daily work?
Oh, it's really special. My wish really, I believe, and a lot of people do, turned around my health. I mean, I've always been chronically ill, but I was deathly ill at that stage in life when I had my wish. So it really gave me something to look forward to every spring training and things like that, going to see the Packers practice and seeing my buddy Don. So
yeah, I think that's an underestimated part of Make-A-Wish is how much the wishes can actually help, the emotional side of it and the physical side of the medical, setbacks that are going on. And I think that's a great example of that, Tanya.
Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned that Don had brought you after your wish to a couple of different Packers events. Now, first off, that's incredibly cool of him to be able to do, and then do a bunch of different Packers games and continue that relationship here today. Is that even past your wildest dreams of what and how long term your wish would end up being?
Oh yeah, I thought it was like a one-time thing, and that's it. And that's what most people are for, meeting a celebrity or athlete. It's a one-time thing. But he had my number, and he would call our house and invite the family to come to events. And it was really very special for several years that went on, like he was in town.
Wow.
And I still catch up with him when he's in town every year. So
well,
it's definitely a awesome situation.
That is so cool.
It is so cool, as you said, even my buddy Don, to now go from a wish and him doing something out of the kindness of the heart to then having a lifelong friend to be able to talk to. That is so awesome. Now, Tanya, you've mentioned your volunteering with Make-A-Wish and helping with Make-A-Wish throughout your adult life. Right now, how inspired should people be, and what would your message be to people who are listening to us on the game, thinking about going to radiowishes.com, and how beneficial and how helpful their gift can be to someone in need?
Well, it's very hard to be sick as a child, especially. So if you can give them a wish and something to look forward to, it could last a lifetime, like me.
It's an amazing point, and it's an amazing story. Tanya, thank you for so much for sharing your story with us, and continued good health and good everything in your life. And thanks for helping, share the story of this great organization.
Thank you.
And tell Don we say hi.
Yeah,
Tell Don Packers fans say hi next time you talk to him, because there's a lot of Packers fans that are still big fans of Mr. Don Mikowski, Magic Man. Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank you.
There you go, Tanya Krieger joining us here. Her wish back in 1990 to meet Don Mikowski. Now 45 years old, volunteering with Make-A-Wish, being working with children, being able to dedicate her entire life to helping more people in need. Incredible, incredible story of triumph and resilience. You can help those stories further, and you can help become a part of somebody else's story at radiowishes.com right now. 877-272-WISH, the phone number to join. Our closing ceremonies are up next. Then we hand it off to D&D, Doug, Nick, and Dave, the former birthday boy.
Yes.
Those boys continue on our wishful giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, benefiting Make-A-Wish here on The Game.
Donate right now to Make-A-Wish during our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS. We'll be back in just a moment. What does the future hold for our beloved Giannis?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratas have started open conversations that are active right now with the Milwaukee Bucks about the realities of whether his future is best staying in Milwaukee or the realities of moving on elsewhere.
Make sure to stay tuned as we're discussing the latest regarding the Bucks icon here on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1973.
The Rolling Stones are back on top with the #1 album in the US and the UK and a #1 single, Angie. Let's Get It On is a #1 single and a #2 album for Marvin Gaye. Also in August of 73, Stevie Wonder is back with the #4 album, Inner Visions. And Florida band Leonard Skinner released their debut album, had a top 20 hit with Freebird, and tour opening for The Who. Fast forward to October, where on their 8th album, the Steve Miller Band debut a smooth blues rock sound and score a #1 hit with The Joker.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971.
February, 4 months after her death, Janis Joplin's album Pearl is released and goes to #1. The single Me and Bobby McGee also tops the chart. Bill Withers hits #3 with the single Ain't No Sunshine from his debut album produced by Booker T. Jones. In March of 71, Carole King releases her first solo album and scores 2 #1 singles, I Feel the Earth Move and It's Too Late. And UK progressive rockers Jethro Tull have a top 10 album on both sides of the Atlantic with Aqualung.
Running down his nose, greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung.
April, the Temptations topped the charts with Just My Imagination, their third number one and their 13th top 10 single. Three Dog Night have their second number one single with Joy to the World. And the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers is released, including the number one single, Brown Sugar.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up.
And now a look back at This Week in History on iHeartRadio.
This week in 1901, Italian physicist and radio pioneer Guglielmo Marconi succeeds in sending the first radio transmission across the Atlantic Ocean, disproving detractors who told him that the curvature of the Earth would limit the transmission to 200 miles or less. The message, simply the Morse code signal for the letter S, traveled more than 2,000 miles. Jumping ahead, this week in 1978, half a dozen masked robbers raided the Lufthansa Airlines cargo building at JFK Airport in New York, making off with more than $5 million in cash and almost $1 million in jewelry. To this day, the Lufthansa heist, as it's known, is considered one of the most legendary in U.S. history. This week in 1980, American oil tycoon Armand Hammer pays over $5 million at an auction for a notebook containing writings by the legendary artist Leonardo da Vinci. It contains 72 loose pages featuring some 300 notes and detailed drawings. And this week in 2009, Avatar, a science fiction epic helmed by Titanic director James Cameron, makes its world debut in London and goes on to become the highest grossing movie in history. Starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Sigourney Weaver, the box office mega hit was praised for its state-of-the-art technology and earned 9 Academy Award nominations. Cameron wrote the script for Avatar in 1994. However, at that point, the technology didn't exist to produce the movie he wanted.
And that's what happened. Thanks for listening to This Week in History on iHeartRadio.
Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy.
All right, does every cowboy riding in on a Bronco have their day Sunday afternoon against the Green Bay Packers? The 11-2 Broncos against the 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers. Armen, sorry, in your prediction for Sunday's game.
Win and cover 27-24 Packers, Billy.
Ooh, why'd you steal my notes?
Sorry about that. Is that true? Is that what you
had? Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
27-24 Packers. Brandon McManus on the field in which he kicked for his first 8 years of his career for the team against the team in which he went to a Super Bowl with. He kicks a game-winning field goal tied at 24 as time expires in the Mile Get High City from 62 away.
There you go.
Or
I like that. 62.
6-7 away.
That'd be good. Set the record.
Do you think he would be able to in the elevation?
In the altitude, yes. Yes.
I think we're going to be a little more modest. Jordan Love leads them down, gets the Packers inside of comfortable field goal range, 43-yarder to win the game. 27-24 Packers.
I like it, Billy. All right. As I do, Billy, I went in the vault and find it. From the June 11th issue in 1990 of Sports Illustrated, the Don Makowski profile. There was he and Tanya Krieger. Yep, the little write-up about them. How she listens to his tape of him singing "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" every night, and then she got her wish when he came and took her on a date in a limousine. So donate to Make-A-Wish. We're going to keep this thing going today.
Donate to Make-A-Wish. RadioWishes.com. And join us coming up on Monday as we enjoy all of the weekend it was. It's No BS on the Game.
This is the Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Donate now at RadioWishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or RadioWishes.com. Coming off the win over the Bears, the Packers are preparing for a tough road test in Denver against the Broncos on Sunday.
They do a great job. Vance does a hell of a job putting his guys in position, and there's just not really a weak link out there. When you look at their front, their backers, their back end, they've got players across the board. I mean, the sack numbers are pretty crazy. Their run defense is pretty crazy.
We're giving you everything you need to know before Sunday's tilt all day on the game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976.
Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to number 1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Scottish sensations the Bay City Rollers finally score a hit in the U.S. with the number 1 single Saturday Night.
Saturday night.